great news, guys. They figured it all out at Lucasfilm. There's a good plan that's happening. We were wrong. They figured it out. They know that they have tons of books and comics to pull from, that they can create new characters and adapt stuff. They figured it all out. Or I'm just practicing for April Fool's Day. There was a big article that came out on Hollywood Reporter that pretty much said they're in the shits, the serious shits. So we're going to discuss this article in full. It might take up a lot of the show, honestly, because it's just been stuff that we've been discussing and kind of things that we've been talking about in order to right the ship and where the future of the franchise is headed, or they think it should be headed. I don't know. So we'll discuss that. It's going to be myself, Mike, and Steph back together again. Here it is. It's the show. Let's do it. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday, and it's the Thursday show. And joining me on the Thursday show, it's been a regular thing, Miss Steph Sabra. Hello, Steph. I got a movie for you to react to. I got to talk to your crew over there to get you on it. I'm assuming you've never seen Closer. Oh man, it's a movie I would love to see you react to for sure. Because it's I think it is an underrated performance by Clive Owen. I think Clive Owen should have been nominated for it. I think it was that good. You cheer for him and how despicable. There's certain characters that are very despicable, and you cheer for people in it. But anyway, speaking of miserable, look at this guy. How's your light? I don't mean your light. I don't know. I was talking about your essence. They can't hear you. They can't hear Steph. Oh, wait. Hold on. I think I know why. Hold on. I think I got it. All right, give it a test. You should say yeah, it should be good now. It should be good now. Can you hear him now? I know everyone's saying I can't hear him. Everybody should be able to hear.
Can you hear me now?
They should be able to in a second.
Okay, cool.
Hopefully in a moment here, they should be up. Okay, you're good now. Okay, so anyway, Yay. I told Steph she should watch it. She said okay, and then I talked to Mike. Mike didn't even say anything except he disagreed that he's sad right now.
I love Closer.
It's a good movie, isn't it?
It's a great movie.
Dude, I saw that movie a week after a breakup.
Oof.
Yeah. No, but it was the most therapeutic thing ever. There's a scene that happens between Clive Owen and Julia Roberts, and I audibly cheered like I was at a sporting event. It's really, really good. Anyway, so we have a lot to discuss here today. This is as I told you guys, I told Steph and Mike before. I'm telling the audience now. I am waiting for lunch to be delivered. It was supposed to be delivered about 20 minutes ago, and it's late. So I know as right as I start getting into this story, the lunch is going to arrive. So I'll do what I can do in the interim. But it's going to be a long conversation here, guys, because you guys both saw the article when it came out.
Yeah.
Yes.
And are we all in agreement that it is everything that we've been worried about and talking about in general for the last 2 years?
Of course. Same thing.
Did you find any hope in this thing at all, Steph?
Hope? No, but not complete despair.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll have to really dive into it. All right.
It's
It's super confusing. I mean,
it's confusing. It's confusing.
But that's their MO now.
Yeah.
It's super confusing. But and before we get into it, also to let you guys know, Steph, I didn't get a chance to tell you, you and Roka won last week.
Oh, nice.
So I don't think. Do you know how many questions they hit last week, Mike?
Am I frozen now?
Yeah, you're all right. You're doing great for yourself.
I'm going to say 128.
202.
Holy crap! Get
They annihilate it.
Can we beat it today?
I don't, with those dogs. I mean, this is Mike. I almost now. I love talking to Mike. I really do. But sometimes when he tells me he can't be on the show, I'm not upset.
When he tries to be what?
When he tells me he's not on the show, I don't get upset anymore.
Oh my god, I do.
Because well, not anymore. I like talking to him, but it's frozen camera, dogs, lawnmower, bad camera. Look at him. He's
curmudgeon in him is like the best. You just gotta bottle up that energy.
I know him so well.
I love it.
He's so mad right now. Look at him. He's frozen. His froze. The camera froze on his anger. Hold on. My DoorDash is here.
Okay.
All right. Hey, you downstairs?
Okay, let's guess what Kristian's gonna eat. My guess is it's a sandwich.
You think so? I eat pizza probably.
You think pizza? Okay, so it's 1 p.m. You don't think 1 p.m. is a little early for pizza?
No, hell no. 1 p.m.
Are there no rules on the time?
So you think he's got like some kind of big meat? Like he's probably got a meatball parm or something.
Yes, I think he has a like a meatball sub or just like straight like Italian sub. But it's a deli sandwich is my guess.
I'll get you. I'll go with your back. I got your back on that one.
Yeah. But Mike, I can't believe we haven't been on the show together for a few weeks.
It's been a hot minute, hasn't it, kid?
Yeah, our schedules haven't been lining up. You guys have to make me and Mike beat everyone's today in the question.
208? Oh, that's insane.
I made it.
We can do it.
Were they good questions, or was just trying to get the numbers up there?
They were. It was a good topic, though. We were talking about.
It was good.
Right,
it was the announcement of the Star Wars trilogy. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So
the
Simon Kinberg thing.
Oh my god.
Which we'll discuss also. Steph, you're wrong. I didn't get a sandwich. You're gonna be excited.
Damn it.
You're gonna be
What'd you get?
No, you'll be happy with what I got, Steph.
Okay.
Let's see if I show you.
Drum roll. Sushi!
Oh,
I would have
get out of here! That nonsense in freaking New York. You eat sushi.
Did you find a sushi place in New York?
Found a good place. Hey, Mike, there's a new song on the radio. It's called "Suck My Balls." All right, here we go. So let's get into.
Don't humor him, Steph.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. She says. She laughs. Look, he's talking to himself now. He's poor bastard's lost his mind. All right. But you know what you should do? You should stick on Twitter. That'll help your mental stuff. All right. Let's get into the story. And here it is. Oh, good. The lawnmower man is just going great. I love it. It's going good. Real good. All right. Star Wars, the movie race for Rey, and the future of the franchise on the big screen. And the future of this big screen. Look at this. What the hell's going on over here? This is a show. I'll tell you that much. All right. Scavenger turned Jedi, played by Daisy Ridley in the last 3 episodes, is the key to the space hopper's next toin, as Colin Farrell would say in The Penguin. Forget the Death Star, the most coveted weapon in the Star Wars movie arsenal is the character of Rey. Since the November 7th reveal that Simon Kinberg had signed on to develop and write and produce a new Star Wars trilogy for Lucasfilm and Disney, the debate has focused on whether or not it would be a continuation of the so-called 9-film Skywalker saga, tying it to the legacy of Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, and storylines first laid out by George Lucas in '77. The reason for the debate is that the new hope for the trilogy would feature Rey in some form or fashion. Some fans have expressed criticism that Lucasfilm would return to the well to make episodes, as they are called, beyond the 9 movies that comprise the Skywalker story, which has been billed as concluding with 2019's Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. That film grossed $1.07 billion globally, but also wasn't well received by much of the fan base. But Rey, the scavenger turned Jedi, played by Daisy Ridley in the last 3 episodes, is key to the franchise's next turn. That potentially puts Kinberg's trilogy story development as early in its conceptual stages as it may be on a collision course with the Rey standalone movie that is actively in the works with director Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy. That feature, revealed with fanfare in April 2023 at Star Wars Celebration in London, is to star Ridley and could have already been in production were it not for some unanticipated headwinds with writers rotating around more than R2-D2's Chrome Dome. A new writer search is underway. It's unclear when that one would go. Perhaps that is why Lucasfilm was receptive to Kinberg's multi-story pitch. Anything to move Rey forward. But it does engender rumors in the Star Wars underground of filmmakers jostling for characters. Ridley, for her part, recently told a Hollywood Reporter that I feel like the new ones will be very interesting. Time has passed and a lot has changed for me personally, so it'll be interesting to come back to someone who I know so well, but in such a different moment. While insiders dispute the notion that there's a battle for Rey, there definitely is internal deliberation within Lucasfilm as to what to do with the heir to Skywalker next. She is the most valuable cinematic asset, in some ways maybe the only one Star Wars has right now. One source close to the franchise tells the reporter that Pedro Pascal is the Mandalorian and Yoda-like Grogu are Disney Plus creations and have their big screen power tested in 2026. According to sources, Rey is set to play a role in several movies that are being developed, although which ones remain unclear. Star Wars movie development has been under scrutiny for years, with Kathleen Kennedy taking fire for not developing meaningful characters beyond those created by Lucas prior to the sale to Disney in 2012 for $4 billion. And it's not like they have a ton of books in her office. And if the franchise looks forward in canon timeline, all those characters, Luke, Leia, Vader, Obi-Wan, Yoda, Han, are dead or had their storylines wrapped in prequels or spin-offs. Rey, created in the post-Lucas era, is arguably the only entity with currency on the big screen now. The closet is a little bare. What the Kinberg hiring lays bare is that the development of movies at the company remains its own unique ecosystem in Hollywood. There are numerous Star Wars movies being developed that overlap characters or timelines. They are not related, but whatever one were to come out first could, in a domino effect, impact the other ones. Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi movie takes long before the Skywalkers may be one of the exceptions. Some Lucasfilm directors are aware of what others are working on, while others are not. That's smart. For instance, Taika Waititi is working on a Star Wars movie, Sean Levy has a feature project in the works, and Donald Glover's Lando idea has moved over development from the TV to the film side of Lucasfilm. Rogue Squadron project also still in development as a feature. It's a different way of development, says another insider familiar with the company's way of working. There's so much parallel work going on. It also points to the unique nature of Star Wars to fans, and in this case, filmmakers and producers. It is not a brand or franchise, but something akin to a religion. Unlike Marvel or DC, with decades of stories propelling them forward, or even Harry Potter, with 7 fleshed-out books, Star Wars at its core has been the original George Lucas movies, and nothing has been codified or made more canonical in modern times than those 3 movies. False. False. False by Boris Kitt, false by them. They announced a whole canon timeline with books and comics. What do you mean? To filmmakers and executives, the first trilogy is the Old Testament. You're being asked to create the New Testament, adds one source who worked on previous movies, and no one can agree on anything, and there's a lot of second-guessing about meaning. Another source familiar with the process is more business-minded, noting Star Wars is a nostalgia-based enterprise, and they're running out of ways to create nostalgia. The television side doesn't appear to have these problems. Several insiders note that arm has a lot more freedom to expand Lucas's universe, which is why there'd be a varied slate that runs the gamut. For better or worse in the eyes of the fans, from Andor, Season 2 comes out in April, to The Acolyte not getting a Season 2, as well as corner for Ahsoka creator Dave Filoni, Chief Creator Officer at Lucasfilm. As an insider, to make standalone movies or continuing the Skywalker saga in any form is a fundamental question the company faces as it tries to move forward. Oof. Big oof. Mike, I know that you got a lot of anger in you right now, and I want you to use it here on what we just read. Oh, that's great. Never mind.
Go to Steph. Go to Steph.
Oh, it's so good. Steph, go ahead.
It's like, I hate to say it's a bit, but it's like one of my favorite bits going on right now.
It is good to Steph. It's like, cut to the baby. Cut to the baby. It's so good. All right, Steph, your thoughts on this disaster.
Okay, wait, but can I Uno reverse you and be like,
Sure.
What's like the biggest oof in that article when you're reading that?
So
the whole thing, or was there one thing that really? Yeah, you.
It's a lot. There's a lot. But I think the one thing that stands out to me is, well, I mean, this is more of a Boris Kitt thing also but it's probably because of them. They said, well, they don't have a lot of stuff that they could pull out of, like Harry Potter.
Right.
They literally made an announcement in 2012 and said that all of our books and our comic books will be canon moving forward, and they have all of these great storytellers from Alexander Freed to Claudia Gray to Christy Golden, to the list goes on and on and on. How many great writers that they have, and stories that have been told inside of these universes, and new characters that have been developed throughout it, that they could choose some stuff. And even some of the non-canon stuff, the Darth Bane stuff, the other things that they have tons of it. They should have adapted the damn book for the Obi-Wan book that was out there, and they would have had a really solid story, get a really great screenwriter to come in, adapt that book, and they can do that. They don't do it. They ignore it. Filoni doesn't pay attention to the books and comics. He doesn't give a shit about them, and because of that, Kathleen Kennedy probably doesn't even know that they have the books and the comics. So she said as much. So that's a problem. The other big problem is the fact that, like, this is what happened last time. Some of the directors aren't even aware other directors are doing projects in the general area of what they're doing. They're not collaborating, not doing anything. And it is the old school way of thinking, and why Simon Kinberg, of course, is a safe choice of, like, we need to get movies out. Simon can get these done. We need to do a Ray movie. Here's some ideas. Let's do it. And it's desperation. It's an absolute disaster. And I say this again, and then I'm gonna pass it to Steph. I say it every time we talk about Star Wars, that I agree that you keep the comics, whoever's writing the comics and the books and everybody running that on that side of the things, the animation, you leave them be. You have to gut Lucasfilm executives at the top level in the TV and film. You got to get rid of them. You got to get rid of them. They have no idea what's happening, and clearly it's a disaster over there. Looking at the old trilogy as a Old Testament and trying to get so far away from it and not understanding that it all plays together in the same way that they don't look at the Marvel Phase 1 as Old Testament. They look at it as, okay, we'll mention it here and there, but we've got to keep building. You can do that. You build and build and build. So it has absolutely just confirmed everything we've talked about. It is that group over there does not know what they're doing. They just don't. Not when it comes to the shared kind of overall universe. And having Simon Kinberg desperately make a trilogy that's going to include Rey, I don't know, but those are my thoughts. There's going to be a lot more of those. But Steph, what do you think?
Yeah, so the parts that I find I empathize with and I actually agree with is that I do think that there is something unique to Star Wars lore that does supersede Harry Potter, MCU, DCU, and the most famous franchises, in the way that I do think it is more like a way of life that people have taken. Like, the true fans really follow, the lessons of Yoda and the Jedi in a way that feels a little bit more serious than some other franchises we see. But what I don't agree with is, because of that hinders their ability to move forward. To me, that just is doing what you're saying, which is showing that there is a lack of leadership, in the sense that, like, that should be an exciting area to play in. There's so much to do from there, and it feels like they're very scared, and only, like, they don't know how to they want to, like, make money, but I feel like that's hindering their creativity and their ability to use the books, use the comics, and use all the other characters in the universe and the franchise that they've already created. So that part feels like, what are you guys talking about that you don't know what to do? You have all these different movies that you guys have been announcing, and it feels like just
spaghetti. It's spaghetti.
Yeah, it's like they haven't picked what they want to do, and it's been years now.
No, they're running the company like they don't understand, in the way that they are part of the same way of, well, they should be the same way of storytelling that DC and Marvel is right now. Granted, it's not the same exact kind of linear thing every single time, but it's all connected to a shared universe. And if you're doing it that way, you cannot make movies the way that you make them in the early 2000s or late, 1998, where you come in, you say, oh, producer, you got a good idea for a movie? Great. We have something else kind of running around, but that's in development. Go. You got to have a mapped out plan. And you figured they would have learned that from the trilogy. They have not. They have not learned that. They do not. They try to just, it's like this magical thing of trying to piece together the things to get a movie, making movies and getting movies greenlit and getting them out, a very, very difficult thing to do. So by doing it, we got one thing, this is going to go well. And having Daisy Ridley, by the way, and I'm not of the mindset that, they shouldn't be leading with Rey. I think I think having Rey in multiple movies is probably a good idea. I think it brings in people, and you can do some stuff, and you can create new characters that particular way. But just throwing it against the wall, it's like, what are you doing? Are you doing that standalone Rey movie? Are you doing a trilogy? Are you doing a Mangold movie? Are you like, what the hell are you doing? Mike, how are you and the Gardener feeling?
I don't know what he's doing.
All right. So how are you feeling about this?
Dude, I feel about this like I feel this morning.
Right.
I don't got words. Like, everyone talks, and I get it. Kathleen Kennedy, great producer of what she's done, but what's going on, man? The ship is
sailed at this point.
Not even sailed. It's hit every iceberg on the way.
Yeah,
it's taking on water.
Yeah.
Like, and they're just trying to do the same thing. Like, this is.
Yeah.
But it's like what we've talked about for how many years now? It's the same thing.
Yeah. What stands out from you from this article?
Everything. It's a mess. Like,
yeah.
Simon Kinberg, that you guys talked about that last week, right? He came in. The guy did Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, but
why are they bringing this guy in? What did they go? Yeah, that's the movie. Well, now, if they had said, "Hey, Nolan wanted to come in and take over Star Wars," I'd be like, "Oh,
he did." Logan.
I was just thinking about that this morning. I was like, they need a Dark Knight trilogy. they need that. That would be so
I don't even want
cool.
a trilogy. Why? Because it's Star Wars, we have to do trilogy.
Do you know why they're doing it? Do you know why they're doing a trilogy, Mike? Because
why?
I agree with you, by the way. They shouldn't do a trilogy. But why
I do too. I'm just saying, like a Nolan film.
Yeah. But why they are doing it is because they want to make sure that this problem of, hey, it's 2019. What year is it now? 2016. How many movies have we had? None. And it's like they want to make sure if they have a trilogy locked up that, okay, well, at least we know every 2-3 years we're going to have a movie guaranteed because we have this thing locked in. We know we're putting it into place. And I think, I'm telling you, and that's why even if you come up with a great idea of a movie and whatever comes out, this is why people are like, hey, you said about this particular idea. And the answer is always going to be no, as long as this team is running it. Because it's like, you got, using the sports analogy, you have the great players, but you're having them call stupid plays and they're dropping the ball. They're not even doing the right things you're asking them to do because they're out of place, and it's a mess. And it's the wrong coaching staff. It is the wrong coaching staff. And I don't know why. And I said this and I say it again. At this point, it is no longer the Lucasfilm pointing the finger at them. You pointed at Iger now. You have to. How do you allow this to continue?
Yeah.
How can you allow this to continue? It is so bad. You paid all this money for this franchise, and you're like, oh, yeah. What are you doing now? We think we're going to do a Ray trilogy. We got Simon Kinberg, because that's what it's a desperation thing of just going, we need to get movies made. And it doesn't matter if they're paying attention to each other or not. They don't realize that the creativity of it, and they're so scared to try to dive in. Knights of the Old Republic could have been a franchise they started 5 years ago. But Filoni doesn't like it. Kathleen Kennedy doesn't get it. She says it's too inside baseball, and they left it. They left it be. They almost adapted Lost Stars, from what I had heard, as far as I don't know if it was going to be a series or a movie, and they thought nobody would get it because it was books, so they left it alone. They don't concentrate on the actual core of the writing and the core of the characters. They're too busy of trying to play Moneyball with which characters are going to hit with the fans, and they're not going after content and real good stories. And again, with Filoni, it's like Filoni is living in this religion of George where he doesn't let anybody else tell him what could be Star Wars. He knows. So because of that, you get zombie troopers in Ahsoka that look like something out of a bad animated film. And it's a disaster. It's an absolute disaster over there.
I think also it's unfair to Daisy Ridley, this article, because she already has faced such unfair backlash. I really liked Rey as a character. I loved Rey as a character, actually.
Same.
But I was excited for a Rey movie. I feel like that does make sense. And I do hear you. Like, it makes sense to put her in different movies, and but to make her the lifeline of your entire next movies is like an unfair weight, and also not what anyone is asking for.
Right.
When you guys finished the last trilogy, the sequel trilogy, it was to be over with and then expand the universe.
Right.
And that has not happened.
No, they've gotten too reliant because they're nervous and they don't know what to do, and they want to make sure they get financial wins, and they still have nostalgia. So the nostalgia now is for a movie with a star that came out in 2019 and just bringing her back. to do more stuff.
Which
Now,
is now the more years that go by, the more you're missing the generation that
Yeah.
fell in love with her. So
Yeah.
it's like, who are you aiming for now? Because now the kids who are going to start watching it maybe would have watched if their parents got them to watch it. Because let's say this movie comes out in 4 years. The generation that watched it in 2016, that's a different generation that I feel like they would be aiming for,
Right.
depending what age they're aiming for these days. I'm not totally sure.
right.
But so I'm like, who is that fully serving?
I don't think they know, Steph. I really don't think that they do, because the other thing that was said in this article that I really disagree with, they said that they feel like the TV area is doing good. It is.
Yeah, that was when that popped up. I was like, wait, what?
Right.
Yeah, I mean the TV is doing good. I mean, yeah, sure. Like Andor, they're gonna be in good shape next year because Andor's the only thing they have coming out. Right? We'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see how Skeleton Crew does. I'm hoping for a fun adventure.
Yeah, I think Skeleton Crew has given itself a pretty soft place to land
Yeah.
because it's clearly more kid
Yes.
centered.
Yes.
And I think that opens up a door where you're a little bit more accepting and
Mhm.
not needing it. Like, you're not promised this dark mafia
Right.
story and
right.
then given, the Flintstones.
It's 100%. That's a great point, because it's like where you got pitched an Obi-Wan show that's going to be this rekindling of Vader and or not rekindling, but like the beef continues between these two foes, and you got that for like 35%. The rest is this relationship with young Leia. The rest of it is the Reva stuff, and it's like you're not paying attention to what you pitch to the fans, what the fans want, right? Then you get Acolyte. You're going to see the True Detective Sith adventure. Nothing of the sort. And then the Boba Fett. You're going to get the Sopranos.
Right.
You're going to get that thing. No, watch the Penguin. That's how you do that.
I know. I really feel like the Penguin writers were like, what's really pissing off people? And then they looked at Star Wars in the
Yeah.
past 3 shows, and
Let's
it's
not do that.
the villain turned good. And they were like, no,
Right.
let's make the Penguin a monster.
100%, because he had to be. He's a villain, and you don't have to turn every. And it wasn't just Star Wars that was doing it. I remember.
No, right.
But they're very guilty of it. But Maleficent did it. I remember watching that going, come on. You can make the bad guys bad, and people will watch the show, and people will watch it. And I guess you can argue with the Acolyte that you kind of have that, but the reason behind it, nobody cared about those freaking twins anyway. But yes, if you can actually put forward what you're talking about and say, let's put together an actual idea, structure, and make it happen. But the TV, though, Andor is going to deliver. And I think Andor's going to deliver. But to your point, I agree with you, Steph. I think that Skeleton Crew, when you look at that trailer and you say, I know exactly what this tone is aiming for, right? Like, I already know that I'm going to try to watch it with my 7-year-old. I'm going to try to watch it and see, like, it didn't have a Star Wars feel to me. It felt like a fun Amblin space adventure, but that's okay. Maybe it's a really good show. And maybe I was like, well, you know what? That actually did have a lot of that Star Wars magic. It just doesn't show in the trailer in the same way that I didn't think that Transformers 1 showed the actual essence of Transformers in the trailer, but delivered so hard in the movie itself. But yeah, I don't know, Mike. And then what do you think as far as, do you think I'm being too extreme when I'm saying that the powers that be within Lucasfilm, the TV executives, the film executives higher, need to be replaced?
You said about Iger, that's a good assessment, because he's been there. How long has he been back now? 2-3 years now,
something like that. And he's leaving
again. Nothing's happened,
but he's leaving, and he's leaving again. He's leaving again.
Oh, wait, okay.
He's leaving in 2026 or 2025, 25 or 26. I can't remember. He's leaving soon.
I don't like it. I'm speechless, I guess.
I know.
I don't know. It's like, why there isn't an answer. It seems pretty easy. DC and Marvel were able to do. Marvel kind of did a soft reset, and DC did a hard one.
James Gunn has done more for the DCU in 7 months or a year than Kathleen Kennedy has done for the continuity of Star Wars.
I think maybe that's the problem is with Star Wars, is they can't admit that something's wrong.
Exactly.
DC was like, yeah, that stuff's good what you guys did, but it's not clicking with the fans.
We're gonna change it.
Marvel was like, whoa, we went way too hard.
Yeah.
We got a little big in our britches. We gotta fix this.
Yep.
But Star Wars has not come out and go, hey, these things didn't do well.
No, they think that good job, guys. The people don't get it. They don't understand. But
That's the problem.
Yeah.
You got the egos involved that are not saying, hey, we like the product we made, but people didn't. So we got to do something.
They got to do something.
That's a big.
It's a big mess. And Steph, same. I know that you're not like, get rid of them. But you hear what I'm saying here? Do you think that this is because you're sports? You follow the sports and you like teams. There's certain teams that you love. If there are calls that are being made, playing the wrong players, and you should be winning and coming in first place, and you're coming in last place every year, the management team usually gets fired.
Right. Like they're on pace to, in 10 years from now, be studied for the downfall of one of the greatest franchises of all time.
Yeah.
Really, because if they keep going at this pace, they'll be like on par with Disney Channel originals, where they're good, like, they're good just shows to watch, but it's not like you're like cannot wait for the show to drop or the movie to go to the theater. They're just not gaining the excitement and the trust in the fans that the other franchises are doing, and just how they're not evolving with television and movies. The entire structure of the way we watch entertainment has changed, and it feels like they're the last to evolve.
Oh, dude, they are running it so. It reminds me so much of when I was in the studio system 20 years ago. It reminds me so much of how, like, it is the same way that Joel Silver did things, the way that a lot of those executives did things, and Kathleen Kennedy does it the same exact way. Who's the hot director right now? Who's the hot writer right now? Let's get them in to do a Star Wars movie. What story are you going to tell? We'll see what they want to do. And what about the other one over here? It doesn't matter if they have a better story. Let's just do that. We just have to get something greenlit. We got to make it because they get bonuses. They get these other things that happen when it goes. And she makes more money when movies are getting greenlit. So she knows that she can make. What does she do? She put out a trilogy that people do not love, but we've mentioned it many times over. To her, she doesn't give a shit because those movies all made over $1 billion, including Rogue One, which is the fourth one. That one people do love. But out of those 4 movies, $1 billion, she has wins. So she's like, okay, you know what? As long as I get a trilogy with Cyan, she still thinks the fans are just going to go out and see it. And she might not be wrong, that they might just go out and go see no matter what they put out because it's Star Wars. I think that magic has worn off tremendously. But if you put, I do think Mandalorian and Grogu is going to do very well.
No, yeah, I think, and when I said that the things are good, they usually are good enough to me, but you expect Star Wars to be great. So I do think that those movies are going to be received well. I do think any movie they make is probably going to do decent in the box office, partially from curiosity, but that magic that they once had is deteriorating not even quickly. I feel like it's been like a slow burn, but people, like even me, are getting fatigued with it and hoping for something different. But it just reminds me of like when you're editing something or picking between colors and you just need to get a different set of eyes on it. They just need a different set of eyes on it because I don't think that they have the clarity or the vision that's necessary to take it to the next level.
At all. No, they don't. And they need like a full on structure, and Simon Kinberg is the very safe choice. He'll get the movies made. And the question is if he's just writing it and he doesn't have any help writing it, like it's Stephen Knight writing a Star Wars movie, Peaky Blinders, and he left because he was tired, because he was sick, because they didn't know what the hell they were doing over there. I mean, we can go through the list of how many people have left, and then they still mention Taika Waititi in there. They're still mentioning Ryan Johnson's trilogy at one point, and Patty Jenkins doing a movie. They have no idea whether or not. It's like, well, we'll see if we get a good draft, we'll make it. And it's like, that should not be the way you're doing it, because that's how it usually was. That's how it would go. I remember sitting in Silver's office and them going, how's that new draft? It's really good. Okay, we're going to bring this to the studio and make sure we're going to get this done. How about this one? Oh, that one's okay. Which one are we going to do first? Whichever draft is better. And you can't do that with a continued universe. You can do that just in a regular, studio system, but you can't do that with a shared universe of have an idea, have a plan. And then the thing that really is frustrating is the fact, why have they not tried to adapt any of their books, best New York Times best-selling books that they've had? Why have they not tried to do this? Like,
Right.
it's like right here. That's why I still, and very well there might be people inside of it. That's why I always try to clarify that I'm talking about the high level executives that I think need to go, and not like, because I'm sure there's some creative executive that doesn't have a say at all and comes in and goes, hey, why don't we adapt this book? And he or she gets shot down. No, too inside baseball. We're not doing that. Dave doesn't think it lines up to what George wants to do. No, this isn't going to work. No, we're not doing that. We got to come up with who's the big director the Deadpool Wolverine guy. Get that guy in here. Let's what does he want to do? Someone lightsabers. Cool. Sign it up. And it's like, as opposed to, well, what are you thinking? Claudia Gray did a really great novel of Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. Can we adapt that to the second season of and kind of Obi-Wan? Maybe kind of go back and forth with that and take some ideas from that, and maybe have a writer's room and take some of these great story writers that we have, that we've used, that really get the lore. Can we bring them in on board, and then bring in our screenwriters, and then can we do that? Yeah, let's do that. It's
Right.
in front of your face.
Yeah, it's like there's no, like, with other companies like Pixar, there's like a pipeline that happens, and it feels like there's a community within the company, and a lot of the animators become writers, and voice actors become writers or directors, and it like feels like they're like all involved in making this, and that's why they have all these different movies coming out, and they usually do really well. It's like, I don't know how this works.
Yeah, and I saw some comment that I guess isn't hearing what I'm saying. Someone said all I want is pointless prequels. That makes no sense at all. There's also different stories that take place further in the future. And if you can do stuff where you can continue on with the lore and do books and have the same types of writers that are coming in and develop the characters, you can push forward way past episode 9 and see where the galaxy has indeed been taken, and you can fit Rey into that. But you need to have a structured plan. So I think that person commented on the wrong video and was talking about a different Kristian, because they must have been watching a different video. But if you go to the overall thing and develop it with writers that understand, okay, this is going to connect this, and this way, but we're going to do this one. This one's going to take place like 100 years after episode 9. Whatever. It's like, create that lore. Create that thing. Have trust in writers that can do it, and don't just rehash the same stuff like they did with episode 7. We need a Death Star. Let's blow it. A Starkiller Base. Oh, let's do it. What about Stormtroopers? Yeah, just new ones now, new Resistance, whatever. And like they're too worried to change.
Right. Yeah, which is bizarre, because I don't know. I just feel like they have the money and freedom to do that, but they're so stuck in this way, and it just feels like we're hearing the same news cycle over and over with them, and nothing's changed. Like, it feels like 3 years of this, right? It feels like since the pandemic, it's been.
I guess 3. It's since 2019 they haven't made shit. So it's been 5 years since 2019. But
But
they haven't had anything. I mean, there's been tons of stuff they were supposed to do. Benioff and Weiss had the thing. They were going to do Patty Jenkins. They did a whole big announcement with her flying in the X-wing with the helmet on, and that fell apart. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And it's kind of, I just remember the first one I really remember, the big story was Lord and Miller. When that was solo, but that was like back in whatever it was, 2017 is when that all went down, leading into the release. I think so, 2016, 2017, whatever it was. But that was the first time I remember, like, things are starting to stink in Denver, as they say, right, Mike?
Rotten in, yeah.
Rotten in. You're in one today, buddy. I understand it.
Nah, you have no clue what's going on.
No, trying to get gas.
Yeah, I wish it was that.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Well, you need to take a break.
No, I'm good.
All right. I'll tell you guys. Why don't we take a break for a second? We'll come back, talk about this and a few other stories. I'm gonna let you guys know that you guys help out this show tremendously, not only with your comments and then right now with you putting the chats in there trying to get Steph to beat Roca this week, but we have great sponsors, man. They're really good ones. I'm going to tell you about AG1, who's been with us forever. And speaking of Star Wars, hey, Mando. Hey, Mando, y'all been running around, working out, just walking. And you're like, oh, that stinks. No matter where it is, your pits, your nuts, you need Mando. I like Mando because it's smooth, baby. But I like when I'm in the shower and I'm using any of the Mando stuff, I'm like, oh, I smell wonderful. And I didn't know how it was going to work before I even knew about Mando. And then now that I do, I can't go back. I love it. Deodorant is wonderful. It is safe to use anywhere in your body. You can use it on your pits. You can use it on your nuts. You can use it on your thigh, no matter what, your belly button, your butt. There's a lot of different variety of fresh scents that you can do. Bourbon leather is the one. I talked to Winston about one. That's the one I think he uses too. 12 hours after the shower, the average man's Grundle odor level was 5 out of 10. With Mando, the average Grundle odor level is a 0. Mando starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for our listeners, new customers will get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code, Big Thing. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack code. But you got to use that code Big Thing. Go to shopmando.com, shopmando.com. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando. Use that code Big Thing. AG1, I'm always excited to talk about them because you're looking for a holiday gift, you got it. Now, the perfect present is the gift of health. AG1, it checks the box. I heard about AG1 when I started doing podcasting by myself. They had said, hey, check this out. I tried it out. I loved it. And they've been with me. If you've been listening to this show for 2 years, then you have been hearing about AG1. That's how long they've been with me. I ditched everything else that I was doing. I was never a vitamins person. And now I'm just AG1. It helps your gut health. I've got better sleep because of it. It has kept me healthy. So there is something great for me, what I do. And I still have had this same zoo cup that I've been telling you about forever. I mix it up with water, 1 scoop, done. That's my day. So this holiday season, try AG1 for yourself or even gift it to someone special. It's the perfect time to focus on supporting your body with an easy and surprising delicious daily health drink. And that's why I've been partnered with AG1 for so long. Every week of November, AG1 is going to be running a special Black Friday offer for a free gift with your first subscription, in addition to the welcome kit with the vitamin D3 and K2. So make sure you check out drinkag1.com/bigthing to see what gift you can get this week. That's drinkag1.com/bigthing and start your holiday off on a healthier note while supplies last. All right. Thank you to our friends over at Hey Mando. That's right. Mando and AG1. I got a message yesterday, somebody who just got Mando because they saw our show. And I said, man, you understand how much you're helping out the show? And now you're going to smell wonderful. You're really going to like it. So I'm going to ask you guys this question because I'm curious. Because you guys both pay. Mike, you want to be in the frame or no? You're right. Okay. So I know you guys with news. When it comes to news, you pay attention with news and everything too. Did you guys hear anything about the hearings that happened yesterday?
Which ones?
Perfect. Okay, that's all I want to know. All right, let's.
I knew there were some. I haven't looked into it.
It doesn't matter. Okay, let's get to the next story. Well, and is there anything else we want to wrap up about this with this whole thing? Because do you think?
Yeah, let me ask you this. Let me ask both of you guys this. Where do you think they go?
Down the hole.
Where do you think? Let's say 2 years from now. What do you think the state of Star Wars?
If this team is still in place in 2 years, this article is dead on. They're going to they're going to put all the pressure on poor Daisy Ridley, and they're going to try to create characters around her, and hopefully they get that's what if they had a competent team there, then I would say that the plan could be build out around Daisy Ridley and get some writers to create like 4 or 5 characters around her that you really, really like, right? You got to it's not an easy task, but you try to create some new characters that fans are really going to like. And with the goal of, okay, if the fans really respond, then we give the new scoundrel their own movie. We give the new Jedi their own movie. We give that could be the plan if it really responds. Imagine go back in time, and if it was this shared universe and they create the trilogy, and then the trilogy Return of the Jedi ends, and they're like, well, we need more Star Wars movies, and then it follows Luke's adventures from Jedi until whenever it might be, or then there's Leia and Han and what they've been doing, and you don't do that now. But I'm saying that if it was the same mentality back then of the idea of we're building out franchise here, we're building out pieces, build out the pieces around what's happening now. I just don't think that they're competent enough to do that. I think that what they're going to do is say we need Rey movies to hit and make $1 billion, and then we just kind of okay, well we had so and so and they're signed up for the second movie. We don't know if they're going to come back for the third, and what do you do in the in between? You hope that Mangold gets together and gets lucky with the big one. I mean, Mangold's great, but you want them to create that. But where do you think it goes?
Me?
Yeah, no, the other guy.
Hello.
Okay, so let me ask you. Maybe this is where I feel like I just have no hope for Star Wars right now, and I'm not looking forward to anything. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
It's like I just don't.
It does.
I'm like to me, I'm really excited, like over the moon excited for DC. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen. I'm like building up to it. Marvel, I like Fantastic Four and the stuff that they seem that they want to do, but Star Wars, I'm just like, whatever. And like,
right.
What
no
sucks
excitement.
too,
There's no
excitement.
I'm
going to say this, and this is going to be a hard thing to swallow, maybe. Yeah. I'm not excited for Andor.
What?
Because I loved it so much, but there's just been so much,
But I'll tell you why you should be excited. But I'll tell you why you should be excited for that show because
it's all going to be awesome. That's why.
No, baby, your concerns are more than valid. But Tony Gilroy's off doing his own thing. No one's bothering Tony Gilroy.
No, I know, man.
And where Filoni doesn't collaborate with him, Filoni is happy that it's gone after season 2, but that is his own thing.
But here's the thing: a caveat to that is it's going to be done after 9 episodes or whatever, and then I'll be like, "What now?"
100%. That's
like Marvel.
Yes.
It's always slowly building and building and building. Okay, they're on the right footing, and you're looking forward to the next thing. You're looking forward to the next thing, and it builds to whatever. This is like, I'm going to have a great time for 8-9 weeks with you guys, and this is going to be awesome. And then it's going to be like, we're back in the toilet again. Here we go.
Right. Because of the leadership. Because they don't, like I said, you take one creator, you hope the creator gets it. Tony Gilroy gets it. He's making it work. It's going to be solid. And then you're like, well, where's that go next? It's almost like when Marvel had Guardians 3. It's like, Marvel's back. It's like, no, wait a minute.
So, I get you.
And then the next movie I think was the Marvels after that. So it's like be careful because they don't. It's the same thing,
right, buddy.
It's what is the plan, and to answer your question, I am not excited. I will not be excited about it until I hear that and it's not just people gonna be like, oh, Kathleen Kennedy, she's gone, yay! It's Star Wars can get back together. That's not it because anybody that she put into place is still gonna be there, and they're gonna follow the same things that she did. You got to get rid of the top tier executives. Get rid of them. Got to let them help them find other jobs, and then get rid of them. So I don't know, Steph. Where do you think it goes? Do you think is there any way it turns around in the next 5-10 years? I have no hope for this.
In the next 5-10 years, I would say maybe in the next like closer to 10 years. But I think that just the way production moves with movies, there's no way that they can do that in 5 years. I mean, maybe at the cusp of 5 years, but they would need to, in the next 6 months, like completely have a extreme makeover.
I just don't understand. If you're Bob Iger, I just don't understand like where he goes. How many times can you say, oh, she'll get it together?
Do you think he cares because they're making money?
Are they?
I mean, well,
when was the last
movie?
time? If I buy something from you and I hire you to make me things to continue on my investment and then you deliver on right away. 2012 we buy you, okay, the first movie we're going to get for you is going to be in 3 years, but we're going to get it and we're going to make a lot of money for you, and you deliver on that promise and you make $1 billion. I'm like, okay, nice job. What's next? I've got another one coming out next year. Rogue One comes out, hits $1 billion. I go, you're on my good side. That's $2 billion. I don't give a shit what the fans are saying. How about the third? Pretty controversial, but we still made $1 billion on it. Great. Okay, what's next? Solo. All right, I want that out in May. No. I need to put it out in December. No, put it out in May. Put it out in May. We're making money. No, I need to put it out in December. I force you to put it out in May. On my bad, because A, we just had the Last Jedi thing and everything else too. Okay, my bad. What do you got next? Well, here's the next one. It's the last thing in the trilogy. Another $1 billion. I'm going, oh, okay. So we're good. Now what's next? And you go, hold on a second. Pandemic hits. Like, all right, you got a little bit of time. Now what? All right, we got this. So they fell apart. We don't have that. Okay, what about now? It's 2021. Nope, nothing. 2022. Got anything for me? Nope. 2023. Nothing. 2024. Our next movie's coming out in 2026. You are fired. I don't care how much money you made for me. I gave you $4 billion to make me money. You did it for a little bit, and now you're gone. It's business. You are gone, and your team goes with you. Where would you like me to make a phone call for you? I hear George Clooney's hiring.
That was a great reenactment. It was.
Thank you.
That was, yeah, I mean, it's true. I do think it is like the lull is, you can't ignore it. It's really fierce. I don't hear, my family stopped watching the shows.
Yeah,
they were watching Mandalorian, but in the past few years, they didn't even check out Andor, I think, because the lull hit them faster.
No excitement.
And yeah, so I think that it's sad.
Yeah, it is. And someone said in the chat just now, I said, with everything that I just said, she still won't be fired. And it's true. That's why I say it's Iger's fault. Like, you can't listen to what I didn't make any of that up. That all happened. Like,
why do you think he or they're not? Do you have any idea?
Maybe she's got pictures of him. I don't know. Some party they went to in Vegas. Who knows? Like, but it's and it wasn't just him. Chapek kept her around too. And yeah,
it's interesting because back with Marvel, when they were having their kerfuffle and like the CGI was getting a bad rap, they got rid of that Victoria Alonso real fast.
Right.
And I know there's other stuff involved, but she kind of was like the fall girl for a lot of like overworking the VFX artists because that was her
she
department
wasn't
stuff.
Kevin Feige. She was Kathleen Kennedy is in the Kevin Feige position.
But Kathleen Kennedy ain't firing anybody.
No, I know, but I mean, but Kathleen Kennedy
needs to fire some people.
But Kathleen Kennedy needs to fire some people.
Clearly,
who does she need to fire?
People, I don't know.
Kathleen Kennedy. I mean, she's
Kathleen Kennedy is the Feige of Star Wars.
Imagine, yeah, but the problem is this: if you're like, hey, why did she fire me? Well, I pitched a whole bunch of ideas and she said no, but she fired me. Why? What'd you do? I guess she didn't like my ideas. Were they good ideas? Who knows? It never got made. She wanted to do her thing. It's like the only one that she could fire is Filoni, and I think she needs to push him back to animation, or keep him in the TV universe with Favreau, because the religion aspect that he's got going on with how he sees Star Wars is as much of a downfall as what she's doing with the executive stuff.
Yeah, it's
a mess, dude. It's an absolute mess.
Yeah,
it's a mess.
It's a mess. But I'll tell you what's not a mess is the box office for Gladiator II. Right now, they're saying it's targeting an $80 to $90 million global start. Ridley Scott's Gladiator sequel has begun its overseas rollout with over 60 markets having either opened the film or about to in the next 24 to 48 hours. The global rollout comes out ahead of the U.S. and China release, which doesn't take place until next Friday. Even without the two biggest markets in the world, though, the film is ready to earn some serious coin. Deadline reports that the film is on track for an international opening weekend of around 80 to 90, possibly higher for the big-budget epic, which stars Paul Mescal, Pedro Pascal, Denzel Washington, Joseph Quinn, Fred Heschinger, and Connie Nielsen. The filmmakers and cast have been globally touring the film in 7 countries and across continents, with the tour ending last night in London ahead of the U.S. premiere in Los Angeles. In the U.S. domestic market, the film is tracking to earn $65 million on its debut and is expected to come in second behind Wicked, which launches the same day and is due to open at $80+ million. Reviews for the film aren't the 2000 Gladiator good, but they're decent, 76% on Rotten Tomatoes. I still don't understand that because, as I've told you guys before, where a lot of people still don't really understand how Rotten Tomatoes works, right?
Right.
Anything over 3 out of 5 is a positive, right? So if you, it's a fresh rather. So if 100 people saw a movie and all 100 of them thought it wasn't bad, 3 out of 5, that movie's at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. So and it makes it look like it was a great movie, but you don't know what it is. So. Do I think that this movie was anywhere lower than a 3 out of 5? I don't. I think it is a really fun action epic movie, and I'm excited for. I gave it 8 out of 10. This is what I gave it on my score. I really like the movie a lot, but I don't know. Did you guys, Steph? Did you see this one yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. I told my family I would see it with them because it's like our big starting our holiday theater experience. But I'm really excited for it. Yeah, I've heard kind of what you're saying is that it's not the epic gonna be the Oscar contender that the original was, but that it's a really great, fun action movie. Yeah. So that's all I really need, I think, to get me in the theater.
Then
that would be good enough for me. Like it would, that delivers, makes the $20 ticket completely worth it.
And what about you, Mike? Do you care about this one at all?
It looks fun.
Yeah.
Like a good movie, but yeah, I'll see it. But I'm not. I don't know. I'll anything Denzel's in, I'm game for. So.
Yeah, and he's having fun. He's having fun in this role. I mean, there's no doubt about it. That's he's.
Now this is one of your. Now was this? If I'm mistaken, I think you had said this is one of your most anticipated of 2024, right?
It was. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was and like I said, I really enjoyed watching it. I really enjoyed. I didn't love the first trailer. I liked
the music and
the music wasn't. And in my review, which I released yesterday, I said that there's some really bad like flash level CGI.
I heard that
in the movie itself.
Gladiator II, there's two they're both with animals, right? There's like this like baboon or whatever, but it's not enough.
Baboon?
Yeah, it's like it doesn't suck you out of it. I mean, it does during that scene, but it doesn't ruin the movie. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
that feels like such an odd choice from Ridley Scott.
It's weird because we're 24 years past the first one, and you're still in the CGI looked. This is some bad CGI in the first movie, but that was 2000, a little more forgiving. There's two things with animals in this. So you're like, oh, this is brutal to watch. I'm like, let's get past the scene. I can't take it serious at all.
But the animals were real in the first one. At least I thought they were.
There was one tiger shot that wasn't, but
the tiger was half and half.
Yeah.
Half and half. Okay.
Half and half.
I don't have as keen of an eye, but I liked the first one, made it feel like they were really in ancient Rome. Like I was like, we're here.
So we're gonna get to your questions in just a second here, but I will say what I saw last night, and there's another story regarding this star of the movie. Red One I saw last night.
Oh gosh.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is mocked now again for sharing a bizarre story about watching Oppenheimer in IMAX. And he said there was a time when The Rock could do no wrong. Having conquered the world of pro wrestling, he established himself as a Hollywood A-lister, was widely credited with saving the struggling Fast and Furious franchise. Few of his movies have been critical darlings, but the vast majority have been crowd-pleasing office hits. In 2022, Black Adam was meant to launch a new DCEU revolving around the actor. Instead, it flopped, and things haven't gone well for him since. His missteps range from XFL struggles to Young Rock's cancellation and the way he was rejected by many fans, WWE fans this year, which saw him attempt to take Cody Rhodes' place at WrestleMania. He remains the most disliked YouTube video in the company's history. The Rock is still incredibly successful, of course, and plans to take on his first serious role with A24's The Smashing Machine. However, his latest big-budget effort, Red One, has proven to be another critical and commercial letdown. In the video, Johnson says that a screening at Oppenheimer, which saw The Rock sit specifically in Christopher Nolan's seat, left him with the belief that should his upcoming movie Red One use the same technology, it could be game over. With Red One, our intention was to make a movie that you can enjoy in on the biggest screen possible. Legitimately, the biggest screens possible are IMAX. I was midway through shooting Red One and I had an opportunity to see Oppenheimer. I watched it in the IMAX theater where Christopher Nolan watches and screens his movies. Him and Emma Thomas, his wife, I even asked to let me sit where Chris sits. They said, Chris sits here. I watched Oppenheimer. It was amazing, but I was thinking, holy shit, Red One on this screen and this technology could be game over. I remember texting Jake Kasdan a picture of my bare chest and a picture of the screen and realizing how cool IMAX would be. When you figure out why Johnson sent a picture of his bare chest, will remind you that Red One's budget was $250 million. It only made $26 million so far at the international box office. It's eyeing a soft $20 million in North America. It's got 35% on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay. I'm not going to give him as much crap on this stuff. Like he's out of touch. He's out of touch with the idea of what the movie itself, watching it, it's like this movie was made by somebody who thinks that these types of movies. He's this big '90s action film. Everybody's going to go see his movies, and we can spend as much money as we want because we'll make it back. The movie is not. You hear this movie in the first. Mike groan. Mike goes, "Oh God!" Right? It's not an "Oh God" groaning horrible movie. It's not. It's nothing I would recommend anybody seeing in the theater. You don't need to see it in the theater. It's a movie that I'm at home. It's Christmas time. I have watched every Christmas movie back and forth, and there's a new one on Amazon Prime with The Rock and Chris Evans. Should I throw it on in the background and let it play? Sure. Do you need to see this in IMAX? No, you don't. So, Mike, do you have any problem with the fact that he went and saw the Nolan screening and thought it should be in IMAX, or just to show how out of touch he is?
I think we should all aspire to have the levels of confidence and balls that The Rock has.
Right.
To sit there and say like, wow, we get Red One and we get it in this same theater, it's going to go ballistic.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I thought Red One was a Netflix film.
It should have been.
One of those ones that was getting like a week release.
It should have been.
Yeah. I'm frozen again. There we go. Okay. Why not?
And more people would rather Steph talk anyway. Go ahead, Steph.
What
do you think?
Do I think that we should dunk on him because he wants to believe in his film the same way that one of the greatest filmmakers of all time believes in his own? No, I think anyone who wants to make something great. One thing I do respect about him is he gives 100 at everything. And he works really hard, and that's a well-known fact within the industry, and you can't not respect that. Does it mean that he's creating even in the same genre or level or universe as Christopher Nolan? No, it's not. It's not the same thing. I do think that billionaires and people who are multimillionaires like Kevin Hart and him are out of touch with things like this because they are so liked, they are so paid, they are so followed, but that's not the same thing as making a massive blockbuster film necessary. It's not. It doesn't mean that it's a for sure shoe-in because you are the most paid person in Hollywood.
But doesn't this go back to what we were just talking about with Bob Iger, right? When you look at the people at Amazon to go, this guy just did Black Adam and spent like $300 million on that movie, and it didn't even break even. Why are we giving him $250 million, $225 million, whatever it is, to make a Christmas movie with Captain America and J.K. Simmons? Why are we doing that?
I think they're out of touch.
Totally. It's like 100%. It's like, what do you, I mean, yeah, well, it's a Christmas movie. We'll put it in around November and everybody get excited for the holidays and it's like that. It's not the movie people are going to see.
I just think it's the Hollywood, way of take some spaghetti, throw it to the wall. And hopefully we've got the right ingredients that this one's going to stick. And it's like,
This is, it's funny. Someone said, and I'm going to bring it up, and it's a super chat. But someone said it did remind me a little bit of Jingle All the Way. It had but not in. There were some moments that this movie had heart. There were some moments, and it was like, just when they did, then they had to do a big CGI scene with The Rock running on on a hill and then jumping on a train and then doing this big huge thing to where they clearly were trying to get this big action stuff and. It gets lost, and any of the moments that were good are lost. So I don't know. I can't imagine. And plus the fact, and then whoever scheduled it around both Wicked and Gladiator II, morons.
Right, because no one's talking about anything but Wicked and Gladiator II. Their press, specifically Wicked's, is absolutely insane.
Yeah, they're probably thinking, Steph, that, well, we're a different audience. We're the family audience. It's like the families are going to see Wicked.
Is.
Yeah.
Wicked is, and also Gladiator 2 for an older family like mine.
Right.
Those two are completely family movies in different ways. Yeah, it's like almost like people are trying to make movies like the 5, 6, 7, 8 Fast and Furious franchise where they kind of just like do whatever they want, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
But that was like after 4 movies that were somewhat steeped in some grounding, and then they earned the audience's respect, and then they were like, you know what, let's just bring in every famous action star and make this absolutely insane, and it worked. But I don't think other franchises have been able to do that for the theater. Like the big action movies are, the Top Gun Mavericks,
right.
But Mission Impossible didn't even do great.
This movie should have cost $80 million to make.
Yeah.
take a shot. And I don't think he's going to make that. And
Right, like the Eddie Murphy, was that the Jingle All the Way? The Eddie
No, it was
Murphy
Arnold.
Netflix Christmas movie last year
Right, but something
was
like
like
that.
fun
Right.
and stupid,
Yeah, he's
and
got
I
a
was
deal, and he's got a deal. But I think the Rock to me goes a little too. This is what it's in his MO. He goes too big sometimes, and I think this was too big.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do you guys think about this? Is anybody going to see this? And Steph, have you been sad about this?
Oh yeah, I am.
I
I'm like, wait, I said no face, no case. Why are you giving me a dead face?
What?
I don't want to. Well, I was like, well, you don't really know if he's dead, but
Oh.
now I'm seeing visual proof.
Yeah, he could be playing dead, but he hasn't moved. He hasn't moved. So
like a possum.
Yeah, he could be. Anyway, put your thoughts in there, guys. We're gonna get to your questions now. And before we do that, I want to tell you guys about our friends over at Rocket Money and Tushy. And Rocket Money, if you don't know about Rocket Money is a personal finance app. I love Rocket Money. I use them all the time because I can't even tell you how many times I have signed up to an app going, oh, I'll cancel this after a month. And I don't. And the next thing you know, it's $9.99. It's $12.99. And you're like, where the hell did that charge come from? Well, Rocket Money tells you all those unwanted subscriptions. And not just that. Like I said, it's a personal finance app that keeps track of how much money you're spending, how much money you have coming in, all these things. It keeps me so organized, and I love it. So if you go to rocketmoney.com/thing, that's rocketmoney.com/thing, sign up today. It will change your life. I promise you that. And then right after that, you get yourself a Tushy. Everybody has Tushy.
Well, Tushy. I've been using Tushy for a long time, and I have 2 of them in my house, and I really love them. I'm so excited to tell you guys more about them. Hello Tushy is the modern bidet attachment that uses a stream of fresh water for a complete and soothing clean. The Tushy bidet, it attaches to your existing toilet without the need for additional plumbing or electricity. Installation, simple. Takes less time than it does for you to go to the bathroom, just under 10 minutes. Toilet paper only smears your poop around, but with the Tushy bidet's nozzle adjuster, you get a precise clean every time. And every Hello Tushy bidet comes with a 30-day hassle-free return and a 12-month warranty. Get one of these, especially for Halloween. Get one. Clean your butts. You guys will be thanking me, I promise you. Ditch the toilet paper. Finally feel shower fresh with Hello Tushy for a limited time. Our listeners get 10% off their first bidet order when you use that code BIGTHING at checkout. That's 10% off your first bidet order at hellotushy.com with that promo code BIGTHING.
All right. Thank you to Hello Tushy and, of course, Rocket Money. How many people have clicked on those links in the description? How many people have checked it out and said, all right, let me just look. This guy talks about this shit every day.
I checked out Hello Tushy.
Did you?
Yeah, once we finish the remodel we're getting, I'm going to use the code.
Good.
We're just waiting for
Good.
it to be done.
Yeah, because I'm just curious how many people kind of browse around certain things. I know a bunch of people did last week with
and I was so happy because they have a black toilet Tushy.
Yeah, they do.
And we have one black toilet, and I was like, okay,
sign up.
I can do it down here too.
See, you just endorsed it, and that's the most Hello Tushies that we ever probably got links today is probably because of you. So thank you for that.
You gotta have a clean butt, you guys. You got to.
100%. All right, let's get to these questions. And we've got a ton of them. So we got 52 going into it, Steph. So you need about 30 more.
You guys,
so to beat
let's
Roka.
go.
Can you beat Roka? You teamed up last time, but can you beat him? We shall see, as they say in some parts of France. I don't know if they say that. Okay, here's the first one. What is that noise?
Not me.
No, it's my Harry.
Okay. Sound like an elephant got caught in a trap or something.
Yeah, you're being an elephant. He's so sorry.
That's hilarious. It's better than the whatever Mike had going on there. Ian Davis, our Star Wars characters are able to force heal now. How do we feel about these things? They force heal was always a thing in like the Old Republic stuff and other things too. Force heal was a thing. How do we feel about these things? Plot devices they keep throwing in there that would have been real nice to have in the older movies. Well, in the older movies, there are certain. It depends in the lore. There are certain Jedi that could do it, and there are certain Jedi that cannot. So in the older movies, there's just probably some of them that maybe couldn't do these things, right? So depending on how powerful they were, I don't hate that. It's just a matter of if it does just kind of feel thrown in there. But I don't know. Do you mind that, Steph?
No, I don't mind that.
Mike, are you still here? I mean, Mike, what do you think?
I'm still here.
Okay.
it seems like they're going to put in anything into the story that will suit that particular story without any regard to what happens on anything else.
That's fair.
So when you're dealing with a small sandbox like Star Wars,
yeah,
you gotta like. I mean, we saw it. We made fun of it. People made fun of it. Like, oh, so I forgot her name in Ahsoka with the punky hair.
Oh,
Sabine.
Yeah,
she gets stabbed with the saber. Oh, she's fine.
Right.
Then next series, someone gets stabbed in the same exact way. Dead. Like,
right.
You got to come up with some kind of.
It's true. Yeah, the lightsaber. People getting stabbed with lightsabers and being okay. It was horrible. And it's like, I love the.
Didn't
Vader stabbed Reva and she was okay.
She got stabbed too.
And Vader, who's one of the smartest villains out there, just like, it should be all right. I mean, she's dead. She'll die. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not just like a slash; it's straight
Stabbing.
through, your body.
Yeah, she should have died. I mean, Qui-Gon died. Let's see. So Ewok, I'm okay with Kinberg guiding the overall story for all three films, but I'd like to see him collaborate with top tier writers and directors for each. I'm sure that's a plan. I'm sure that's a plan for them to try to do. The question is, who are they going to get? They're probably just going to get, because I think that one of the main reasons that people keep dropping off of projects is they can't see eye to eye with Kennedy. So she's just going to get a bunch of yes people around Kinberg, and that's not going to be good for anybody.
That's not going to be good for anybody.
No.
Yeah.
And now Ewok says, if the films turn out to be episodes 10 to 12, who would you want to direct each film? That's hard for me to say. I don't know who I'd want to direct them right now, because it's like, is it going to be someone in their rotation? And that's the thing that I don't want to do anymore, is that I don't want to say like, oh, you know what would be great? Well, we did when episode 7 was coming out, we had like a Star Wars draft and who we thought could not only be in it, be certain characters, and we had a lot of fun with it. I just, it's not that level of fun anymore, you know? So to even think of who would direct, they're just going to get somebody who's just going to be able to do whatever they want to do. So
the one who I'm kind of jumping on, well, I've been a fan of Hiro Murai for a long time. He's done a ton of really famous music videos in Atlanta, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and he works oftentimes with Donald Glover,
Okay.
and he is now doing an A24 samurai movie called
nice.
Bushido, and I'm
Okay.
so excited for it. And I was like, man, I wish that you took that energy to Star Wars.
For real. And speaking of like, because as you were saying that, I was thinking about Shogun, right? And
Right.
why hasn't Justin Marks written anything for Star Wars? I'm sure he's been in meetings, but that would have been interesting too.
That would be too, yeah, totally.
And then you could already see our guy over there too. It's like, I need to get to my boat, except I need to get to my ship. Which do you have a lightsaber?
Yeah, Cosmo.
Yeah. All right. Roman. Hey, all. Hope the week has been treating you well. Thank you, Roman. Thank you for the time and effort you put into these shows for reviewing. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for continuously watching, Roman. You're the man. He said, what are some of your most disappointing films from this year? For me, it's Deadpool and Wolverine. It's a good movie, but I think it missed a shot at greatness. I understand that. I think that's fair. Disappointing movie, one that I saw it in. Love. Oh, the Joker. Joker 2.
Oh yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You do declare, right, Mike? Not even in the mood to do that today.
Nah,
Your soul is sucked out of you. Wow. You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
All right. Roman Fedorak. Enjoy asking this when Mike is here. What are some hot takes on movies that you have? I'll start. Blade Runner 2049 is better than the original. No disrespect ever to anyone that disagrees with me, though. And I had one the other day that I was thinking of that
I got my movie hot take. It's not something new. I've said it forever. I think The Dark Knight is the least good of the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah, I know. I think that's stupid.
Yeah.
There you go. That's why it's called a hot take, shithead.
Yeah.
Hot take. I think Agatha All Along is the best Marvel series.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Hot damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, hot.
Hot take. I hate avocados.
Oh my God.
See?
Is that for Rizzle?
Yeah. I could physically fight when I'd be okay with it.
I can't. I hate avocados too.
Yeah. The only time I like.
Whoa, guys.
I'm sorry.
Whoa.
The only time.
Guacamole.
No, I'm never. I don't like guacamole. What I tell you though is that for some reason in sushi, when it's like little cubes of avocado, then I can deal with it. All right, Artem Shakaraman. Andor had to be made by HBO and Disney. Just want to say this. How can a studio that made Andor also make Acolyte? Because of what we were just talking about, Artem. It's different creators that they're letting do. It's not the same. It's different creators. That's why when people always say, when they blame Disney, well, Disney can't make a good Star Wars thing. It's like, you got to blame Lucasfilm, because no one ever gives Disney the credit on Endgame. Everybody loves Endgame. Nobody ever says, oh, Disney did a great job with Endgame. They say Russo brothers and Kevin Feige. This is Disney. Why don't they give, when there's the big hits that you like, why don't you give Disney the credit? But when it's crap, you always say, it's Disney's fault. No, it's Lucasfilm's fault. It's Disney's fault that they haven't fired them. So I guess that in that point, sure. But like, yeah, well, for the movies that are being made, it's the production team. What are you doing? So yeah, that's how when it comes to TV, same thing. It's like, that was all Lucasfilm. They decided to give Leslie Headland $220 million to make this show. And like, that's the other thing. You talk about The Rock. Kathleen Kennedy spends money like my kids play Monopoly. It's like,
yeah,
she spends, that Indiana Jones, $300 million. I like, after that, in my thing before, Steph, when I was doing that little monologue, I didn't even bring that up. The one movie that she does do that's not Star Wars loses like $100 million or whatever it was.
Right. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you know what? I know you haven't made any money for me for that one franchise. That other one, how about that one that we really want to bring back with the guy that we like? You got it? Yeah, we got it. Okay, how much are we going to make on that one? Well, we actually lost 150. Okay, no problem. Hey, I'm having a Christmas party tomorrow. Do you want to come over and shit in my living room? The same thing. Artem follows it up. In about 2 weeks after submitting first draft, Kinberg will realize that he has a scheduling conflict. Nah, not. That's why they're bringing him on, because that's what you're not going to get. This is a desperation move. This is because they lose everybody, and they know that Simon Kinberg. You can, hey Simon, we don't like this draft. We instead want to have our main character be a rhinoceros with a clown hat. Can you do that? Sure, I'll do it for you. That's what that you're not going to get pushback. He's going to do whatever you want. So he's not leaving. Mike Joyce, how was the UAP hearing overall? The only part of your reaction stream I checked out was Beetlejuice Lady's line of questioning. Talk about random. That was a mistake. That was a major mistake, having her ask questions, especially at the time that they did. That's why I asked Steph and Mike if they didn't even know kind of really what it was. I think Steph kind of knew, but didn't. It wasn't covered by the mainstream media. That everyone says that this hearing was for the casual person. Well, I just asked two casual people, and they barely even knew that it was happening. And these are two people who follow the news. So it was, to me, it was a big bust. Christopher Brickner, with Lucasfilm planning on Rey being in so many projects, how bad would it be for Lucasfilm if the first Rey movie was bad and flopped? Very bad.
Very bad.
Yeah, go ahead, Steph.
Yeah, that would be, their next movie has to be good. It really does, and not just box office good. It has to be good, where people believe in the franchise again.
But you know what? The other thing is that we didn't cover is the first movie that comes out is The Mandalorian and Grogu. If that movie, let's say that movie is awesome. Let's say that is the best movie that we have seen in the theater. The old school fans think it's the best thing since Empire. The new school fans think it's the best thing since Revenge of the Sith. And it's like this great movie. And then they have this Rey thing planned out. That's a problem, because everyone's going to go, do more of those movies.
Right.
And let Favreau do it. And Favreau's licking his chops right now. Favreau's going to throw the fastball like he did with Iron Man. He's going to throw the fastball. And he's had enough time to work on it. I think the Mandalorian and Grogu is gonna perform, and I think it's gonna perform for fans, and I think it's gonna perform for audiences. Jon Favreau is a very good filmmaker.
Yes, he is,
and he's a good storyteller. I like that, and then I can tell you right now, foresee all of this. I have foreseen it. You're gonna have Jon Favreau being called for by the fans to run all of Lucasfilm after his movie hits, and it's not the right choice, but everybody's gonna be saying that.
Yeah.
Do it. All right. So next one here, we got 60 so far. You only got about 23. Catch Roka. Can you do it?
Okay.
Possible. Very possible. DUI champ. Hey, team. I recently heard that Mike was a Star Trek fan. What's Mike's opinion on new Star Trek? And more importantly, Star Trek: Strange New Worlds?
I'm a fan. I'm not a hardcore fan. They're in a tough spot because they can't get it going. They had those 3 movies that were, progressively less and less. I think they dropped the ball. I think Abrams' Star Trek in 2009 nailed it and revitalized the franchise, and it was all firing on all cylinders. I think the movies are a little bit of limbo, but TV's clicking along well. I love Strange New Worlds. That first season, I'm not caught up on the second season. I love it, and I think I was talking to someone about this the other day. I think his name's Ethan Peck. Is Spock. He is my favorite iteration of the character so far.
Wow. Okay.
More than Nimoy or Quinto. I think he's awesome as Spock.
I'm working on trying to get Quinto for an interview. KP, Kev the Poet. Is this maybe about merch? Does George Lucas still get the merch money for his creations? So they're focusing on right. Lucas doesn't get anything anymore. Lucas sold the company. When Lucas sold it, I don't know what part of. Maybe he has a deal where he gets something. I doubt it though. Or is it just ego doubling down? I think it's a mixture. I mean, it's always about merch. I mean, they always hope that no matter what they do, they hope that there can be merch inside of it that it's going to be great. And they'll in whatever movie you're going to have, and especially a big trilogy movie, you want to have the Ray shirts and all. My kids still have Ray shirts that they wear. So. Yeah, I don't think that was the driving thing behind it. It's about making money, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next one here is from Shay Markel. My boy Mike is going through it with the pups. Yeah, they were going nuts before, but they've been quiet so far.
Because they're in the crate.
Oh, there you go. Shay Markel. Gotta say, I'm glad Mike's on today. Where you been, buddy?
Where have I been?
Work.
Yeah, but I feel like, because we were doing Halloween at Universal Studios. It's Halloween Horror Nights, so my schedule kind of shifted, and I was doing the Purge show, so my day work got shifted as well to like Thursdays, and I usually had like Mondays and Tuesdays off, so my schedule was not the best for that end of October. Got a little busy.
Yeah. DUI champ, did anyone see Bill Burr's opening monologue on SNL?
Yeah, hold on. Can I talk about this?
No, and can I finish the question? And then,
no.
Then you can answer it. Opening monologue on SNL last week. He's one of my favorite comics today, but I think he bombed. Yes or no? What do you think?
Oh.
What do you think, Mike?
Okay, so Shannon and I were sitting around. It must have been either late Saturday night or early Saturday or Sunday, and people on Twitter were like, Bill Burr, how dare he? The things he said. And we were both like, oh, boy, here we go. We watched it, laughed the whole thing, and then looked at each other and go, that's what people are upset about? Like, he went after Kamala. He went after Trump. He went after, it's who Bill Burr is. Like,
yeah,
I was expecting after hearing this kind of backlash from him, I was like, oh, this is going to be bad. And it was funny.
Yeah, Bill Burr.
He gave both sides, like both barrels. It was like, and I think that's the problem we're looking at now and kind of seeing the way things have gone in the past couple weeks here. We're too sensitive. Everyone is too sensitive about everything. And I think middle America is just sick of it. We're just sick of everyone be offended by every little thing. And Bill Burr is who he is.
Yeah. I mean, dude, Bill Burr gets upset if he doesn't see Twitter upset about his set.
Yeah. I thought it was a great set. I loved it.
I like to tell you. Yeah, go ahead. So.
I feel like I know that the middle America has taken the narrative that the coasts are very soft and sensitive. And I'm not saying that's wrong, but I think they're equally soft and sensitive. I think the entire country is soft and sensitive, and everyone is. Yeah, in different ways, completely. Like everyone is sensitive over their one voter issue.
Right.
And that was very clear. So, I mean, it's like they've ran with that. And I feel like it's very good marketing. But I agree with you, Mike. Like, I think Bill Burr is going to be Bill Burr. And I think a lot of people don't understand him.
Right.
And people were probably expecting a Dave Chappelle post election SNL monologue. And he's just not the same comic as Dave Chappelle.
No.
And I do think that often with comics, including Dave Chappelle, people miss the mark. Like he
goes after everybody.
Yeah. And I don't think that he was saying that he clearly doesn't like Trump either. Like it was, I think the Asian joke
That was the
fell
one.
really,
I think
really
I
flat.
think that was the one that people were
Yeah,
worried
that
about.
one. That I think once he said that, he lost the crowd.
Yeah, the crowd did go quiet on him when he said that.
Yeah,
and
yeah, and it was like, ooh.
Yeah, he's like, and what did it say after? He's like, didn't it say that? Don't they say that? That's where you get it. It's like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But yeah, my 12-year-old was watching that with us, and she went, "Ooh, I don't know about that one." It's funny, but I loved it. I thought the set was good. The set, but that joke didn't hit. Go Pie.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Kristian. I saw a headline from NPR covering the UAP hearing yesterday. I mean, look, a headline that happens. I mean, there are headlines from newspapers all the time. It's a question. It should have been a lead story from every news outlet, and it wasn't. And there's no way that people like Mike and Steph and other people in this chat are ever going to hear about it unless that happens. Unless they, just hearing me talk about it all the time, they go, "Shut up, idiot." Artem, when talking about regime change at Lucasfilm, everyone only mentions Kathleen Kennedy, but should anyone else leave with her as well? But that's what I'm saying, Artem. Yes, I do. I think all the high-level executives over at Lucasfilm need to go in the TV and film, not from the side of anybody working on video games and books and comics and all that stuff, animation. I think they're doing a fine job. Those are fun stories, and those are good stories. I haven't read the books in a while, but from what I hear, they're still delivering. But the film and TV, it's more about decision making, and the decision making has been terrible. Go Pie, Samuel Harden. Did you see Finn Wolfhard is remaking Idle Hands? I saw that because Devin Sawa actually posted it out. The original came out when I was in college, and I'm getting ready to crumble to dust and blow away. Did you guys see that?
No.
Yeah.
I saw the post about it. I wasn't a fan of the original movie, so I didn't.
Okay.
I just kind of moved on from it.
Okay, fair enough. Shay Markel, with the amount of lawn care and Mike's background on these episodes, I bet his neighbor has the best yard on the block.
No, here's the thing. I live on a busy street.
Yeah.
But they're all like little fourplex kind of townhome apartment complexes. So the lawn is about 50 feet by 5 feet in front of everyone's house. We got this little patch of grass. This asshole next door, this lawn service, he must charge by the hour, and he's got a racket going on because he's still blowing that damn thing. We've been on for an hour and 45 minutes.
Still doing it.
He's still out there.
He's got a racket going on.
He's got a friggin' racket going on.
I love
because the landlord, they're not around. They don't know
Mike,
how long he's here for. He's just like, I was there for 3 hours.
Paid by the hour. Yeah.
See, you want Mike to come alive in an episode? Ask him about the gardener. Jacob Thompson. They hit lightning in a bottle with Rogue One and Mando season 1 and 2. Hoping they can do it again. My son, who's 15, has checked out of Star Wars completely, and it sucks. Following you since Glider days. Love your content. Thank you, Jacob. Same with my daughter. My daughter was watched it with me for a little bit when she was younger, and then she bailed on it. But it's harder, and it's hard enough to get kids of that age to watch anything outside of their TikTok and Instagram and everything too. So you really got to lock them in with your shows and your TV. And Star Wars is not hitting the younger generation right now at all. It's just not. Artem, Mike's facial expression is the same one that Star Wars fans have every time we see more Star Wars news. Yep, it's true. And then Shay follows it up. Honestly, I've been bored with Star Wars for 82% of my life. It's not until I talk to Star Wars fans that I can see how amazing the IP actually is. There's a lot there. There's a lot there that could really be special. And it's just, I think that's why people get so bummed about it, because it really could be good. Shogun Orta. Lucasfilm is aware of the EU. Lucasfilm is aware of the EU. They could take ideas from, but they want to make the original content to make Star Wars great with, but it's hard. Yeah, I think that's stupid. I think they just adapt. There's not. You look at the books, especially for TV shows. You can adapt some of your books, even the old EU ones. You can adapt them into series, rewrite them, and the people who read the books, they're not gonna. There's such a small audience compared to the wider audience.
I'm gonna say something.
Go ahead.
Maybe because people don't need to hear this. Like, there's the books are people love the books. People love the comic books. But you ask people what's the greatest iteration of Batman of all time, and you'll get a good people to say the animated series in '92. That thing is the gold standard of Batman. They will never hire Bruce Timm to write a Batman movie.
Right.
There is a discourse or a disconnect between the studio executives running movies that are like, nah, that's just kids' cartoons.
Wow, I got to push back.
Those are just books.
I got to push. I got to.
Then why have they not hired James Luceno or someone to write a Star Wars movie?
I'm with you on the Star Wars side of it, but what's his name? Is it Tom King?
No, but that's different now.
Why is that different?
Because things have changed at DC.
Okay. Well, yes. Right. Okay. Right. So
you got a guy in there. But hold on.
Okay. All right.
James Gunn is not a studio exec. He is a creative that came in and goes, I love these comics.
Right.
We're finally going to do this.
He's a studio exec now. But yes, but we're ultimately saying the same thing. You need to get a studio exec that thinks like that in order to.
Star Wars people don't have that.
They do not have that. They have the traditional studio exec, crunch the numbers, money ball. How do we make a hit?
This guy's movie was great. Had nothing to do with Star Wars, but
this was the big.
He's an Oscar winner screenwriter, so he'll do Star Wars.
That last movie made $1 billion. Maybe he make us $1 billion. Yeah. So it's just old school. Silly.
I stand corrected with James Gunn. You're right, Tom King.
Yeah, Armada. I want a Bill Burr standalone Star Wars show. I would watch one episode of a standalone with him. I don't think Bill Burr.
Yeah.
I don't think Bill Burr would want a full series of that. ILL Magic. Nolan wants full control of any project he directs, and Disney ain't having that. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to.
Nolan's earned the right to get that, though.
Yeah, but you're not going to give Nolan's not going to be
he ain't doing Star Wars.
No. Let's see. I'm going to keep looking here. We got some more. While we do, Steph, what's going on from the World Girls? Was that last night? A new episode?
Yeah, last night, 6 p.m. PT Wednesdays, and we're gonna do a lot of restructuring for the new year. So stay tuned for that.
Anything you can tease?
No, not yet.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Oh, all right. So, Mike, what do you got going on? You got anything going on right now? Oh, you want to talk about? No, not tonight.
In my life?
In your life. Do you want to tell people about? Did you sign up to the Blue Sky like everybody else?
What's Blue Sky?
Oh, it's like the new.
Is that the new social media thing?
Well, apparently it came out like last year, but then everybody like.
I'll tell you this.
Oh, here we go.
I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'm perked up again. So the other day, we're not going to get into it. I tweeted out something.
You?
Yeah,
Okay.
It was just kind of I thought was funny. And like when something goes viral, what does it mean to go viral? Like how does it have to have a certain amount of likes or views?
I guess like it's just, I mean, it brings in people that aren't following you. And
okay, so I think I had something viral, like 3 million views right now.
Oh yeah, okay,
250,000 likes.
That's viral.
I woke up to like 300 new followers, and like every day it's growing.
Okay.
So I was gonna get off Twitter after last week. I was like, I'm done. I'm out. I can't do this anymore. For my own sanity.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm like, no, there's good people out there still. And to me, Twitter is the most engaging when it comes to an audience. Like you can engage the best with people, good or bad. So I still love it. So yeah, I don't know.
I do think that Elon Musk is ruined the magic of Twitter in a lot of ways. And I see like a lot more hate on it than I ever saw before because his rules of engagement are just different.
Yeah.
And so that's sad. But Mike Joyce actually made a good point in the World Girls last night where he was like, I feel torn because it feels like if we all go to Blue Sky, then we're just everyone's in their own echo chamber depending where they politically align right now, and that can be dangerous because you're not seeing the other people's thoughts and sides. So I'm torn on it. Like I don't want to engage with a person and a company that I feel like is completely just not aligned with my values or ethics. But I also don't want to just keep getting further and further from my fellow countrymen where I'm like, I don't even know who you guys are.
Right. I understand. That's why I just post and run.
Yeah.
That's why I just post links. I don't engage. Shay Markel. I'm a Star Wars casual. I don't hate on Star Wars, but unfortunately the fans talking about the lore leaves a better impression for me than the actual projects. Yeah, because the fans kind of hope for that potential of what could be, So but I've come to a place now with Star Wars that I'm just not expecting anything from it anymore. Like I expect it. I guess I expect it to be bad now, and when it's good, I'm happy. Captain Penis is here, guys.
Yes.
Penis?
Captain Penis. Yeah. Do you think that Lucasfilm will ever adapt Knights of the Republic? No. And I used to think that they would, but from birdies that I hear, Filoni's not a fan of it, so it ain't gonna happen. Armada.
It would be so cool.
So well, yeah, but I don't want them. I don't want this regime to do it.
Yeah,
I don't want them to do it. I want someone else to do it.
I thought the Acolyte was going to be in that vein.
Yeah, me too. Armada, a James Gunn Star Wars movie would bring the boom. I mean, yeah, but I mean, he's tied up forever.
Nah,
So
he ain't
yeah.
he's not going to do it. He's a big Knights of the Republic fan, by the way. He would have probably been the first thing that he did.
Yeah.
Now, seeing what he's doing with DC now, I wish, like, damn it, I wish they would have gotten him. But people were like, oh, I said that once, the Knights of the Republic. James Gunn, Knights of the Republic? Are you crazy? He's just going to dick jokes the whole time. It's like, he can't, he's not, I think the guy knows how to do it outside of just him.
Right.
I like how you said that, like John Travolta, Steph.
Right.
Artem Shakaraman. Kathleen Kennedy is the one using the lawnmower, and she's pissing off Mike's dogs to prevent him from talking on this show. I think that's probably true. I'd be hilarious if you look out the window and she's actually, she might be soon. Who knows? Day Napper, Disney's nuts. Nice. Like that. Let's see. There is some more here. We're at 69, dude.
Nice.
Luke Skywanker. Oh, yeah. This is, I have a feeling that Skeleton Crew and Andor Seasons 2 are going to be, and Andor Season 2 are going to be like a left jab and a right hook combo. I'm optimistic. P.S. Mikey Christmas, exclamation point. Yeah, I mean, look, I like John Watts. I like John Watts a lot.
I did too.
I like him a lot. And I hope that this is a really good show. The only thing that I hope I'm surprised about is that I think that it looks like a fun adventure film. I'm not worried about that. I want to feel like, you know what? This does feel like it takes place in all the other Star Wars shows that I've seen, all the other Star Wars movies. And it's not just the original trilogy. It's got to feel like all of Star Wars. Like, because it's like people, what do you want to feel like Star Wars for? I don't know, because it's a Star Wars show. So,
can I say something?
Yeah.
You know what I am like a little bit concerned of over the show, and I'm not going to be hypercritical about it, but something I don't think I'm finally understanding. I don't think I like the pirates in Star Wars.
Yeah. Okay. Even in the animated.
The animated's better.
Yeah.
I feel like I can tell they're in makeup. And then it just completely takes me out, where I feel like I'm visiting Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Good point, Steph.
Yeah, it is a good point. I mean, and I guess that's where the lower budgets kind of go.
Like when we saw it in Mandalorian, I felt this. I was like, this just isn't working for me.
It's fair. Mike Joyce, Mike, you got to join Blue Sky. Twitter's bad for you. That's what he says.
Yeah.
Artem, why does Disney still care what George wants and thinks? They bought it. If I buy a car, I don't give a damn what previous owner wants. I don't think that they do, but I think that Filoni was taught by Lucas, and I think that there's a lot there that you should still abide by with the overall essence of what George created. He understood it. He's a great storyteller. What I think that Filoni does too much is that he holds like, well, this is what George wouldn't do, and George wouldn't do this, and George wouldn't do that. And he holds up like he knows everything, and there's a lot that he does. He's very knowledgeable about a lot of this stuff. But I think that he has a lot of that, religion of George, if you will, and doesn't let people touch it. I think more times than not, he's wrong about certain things. Anyway. Armada, are you all excited for the Cross Show? It's out today. I've heard good things. Mike, that seems like a show you'd be interested in.
I have never read the books, so
okay.
And I wasn't really into I think it was first Morgan Freeman and then
Angelina Jolie, right? Yeah.
But I like, is it Aldous Hodge?
Yes.
I believe.
Yes.
I really like him as an actor.
Yep.
So if I get a chance, I'm a little behind on my TV. So
okay. Armada, Steph, did you listen to the new Doechii album? She got nominated for Best Rap Album this year. I recommend it 100% to anyone that's a fan of hip hop. So you did.
Yeah. Yes, as she should. I feel like she has Outkast vibes, Nicki Minaj vibe, like old school Nicki Minaj. Like she is, I think, one of the best right now, most underrated.
Okay. Derek Johnson, with a big super chat here. Thank Derek. Throw in some support. I've been crazy busy and I can't hit lots of support, but I hope this helps. Anything you ever do, my friend, you're the best.
Thank you.
So wonderful. Al Rensha, I think Star Wars needs to move on from Skywalker saga entirely and do something else in next trilogy. Knights of Republic.
You and us both, pal.
Yeah, Knights of Republic, or maybe do some Elseworld stories. I mean, yes, I agree, but like I said, it's just do you trust? If you had, if you had asked someone to clean something, if you're like, oh, hey, you know what, I need you to clean something, and every time you ask that person to clean something, they broke your lamp, right? would you keep asking that person to clean around your lamp? Right? It's like, just stop giving Lucasfilm anything because they're gonna break your lamp. that's the moral of this story.
Stop breaking.
Keep them away from your lamps.
Keep them away from your lamps. Matt Bull, my good Brady James. Would you be more excited for Star Wars if the only live action canon from Disney was Rogue One, Andor, and Mando? They can do that with a pen stroke. Yeah, I mean that's the other thing, right? Is why not stay inside of the lanes that are working right now? In the like the way Marvel did. It was Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, right? They were playing inside of those 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3. And now, yeah, they I think Andor, we know. I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. When the three of us went, and they said, and Gilroy was like, I want to do 3 seasons. And then he goes, what's his face? Diego's like, I only signed on for 2. But again, from what I would think is that Filoni's like 2's good. 2's good.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. And this is Shay Markel. There's a scene in Civil War that sums up what the MCU is missing. It's when Bucky and Sam are in the car smiling at Cap and Sharon sharing a first kiss, moments before they were in a complete desperation. Yeah, that's a great scene. And this is, I mean, but the MCU can get that back. I think they can get that. I think Thunderbolts can bring that back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do too.
I like the Thunderbolts trailer a lot better than I like the Captain America trailer. I tell you that.
I was with you on that. Yeah, that Thunderbolts was great. Cap was like, yeah, this is gonna be there's a lot of smoke with that movie going on. A lot of smoke.
Flip of the coin. Shay Markel. Hey, Mike, are you familiar with Eddie Redmayne's new show, Day of the Jackal? I'm on episode 1, and it seems legit. I believe that you like spy and action stuff.
I had no idea about it. I know Day of the Jackal is that famous book with Carlos the Jackal.
Well, there you go.
And there's a movie based on it, but I had no clue there's a TV show on it at all. It just goes to show you how much is out there. And yeah. I'll check it out, though. Thanks for the heads up.
Chris Granier. Hey, Mike, I don't agree with you a lot, but your mood is my mood today. I just want to throw hands.
Wait, you want to throw hands? As in we're gonna throw down?
Not with you.
To the world.
He's sharing your.
Dude, I got an appointment I got to be at in a little bit, and after that, I'm gonna go to the garage and just work the bag for a good hour.
Smart. Just get it out of there.
It's one of those.
That'll be good.
Yeah,
it's one of those days today.
FX Star-Lord. Here's a mad idea: Rey versus everyone. She kills Luke. I mean, turning her bad. I think you missed the boat on that already.
No, please don't. Please, nah. You just
then we had Reva. We had the Acolyte.
Just introduce a real evil villain. Yeah. Like get just an evil villain.
Yeah, who's not going to turn good.
No, just an evil villain that we hate.
Yes, Brogu. Guys, I love the stream and I love the headphones, Steph.
Thank you.
Next one, and this one comes in from Armada. Jeff Snyder as the new Lucasfilm CEO. Oh, good Lord. It'd just be David Fincher would direct everything.
Yeah.
And he tried to get Tarantino for a movie too, I'm sure. And what's wrong with that? That's true. Who's and have Booker T announce him. And now your new CEO, Jeff Snyder. Armada. Denzel Washington. Yay. Wasn't that from Collider Live? I think it was. I don't remember. Blocked all that out. Let's see. Next one is Jim 1. Despite the Star Wars chaos, I admire Daisy for staying professional and gracious. Same.
Of course.
Same. She is. I think everybody here is clear. We'd all like to see her back. I'd like to see her just used the right way.
Right. I think she's a great actress. I loved Rey, and I think that she's handled press really well because she really and continues to get shit.
Yeah. Totally. I admire Daisy for staying professional and gracious. Compare that to what Rachel Ziegler's new outburst. Did she have another outburst, Rachel Ziegler? Another one? Which could doom Snow White. Or is that the same one you're talking about from like last year? Or
no, she did. I saw something
recently.
Excuse me, Twitter this morning.
Oh no, what'd she do now?
Something political. Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. You got a movie coming out. Stop tweeting until your movie's out or you're not working. Like what in the world? The Bendu. See if you can find anything.
I'm looking.
Yeah, the Bendu. Who would you guys see as Lucasfilm president, and what that person should do first to set it on the right track? Also, should they explore TH1138 world? I don't think they should explore that world. I think they should make original Lucasfilm movies. I think that's just something they should do. Maybe in science fiction or fantasy or something along those lines. Should do original movies for sure. As far as a president, I want to see someone I don't know. I want to hear about their resume when they announce them in the trades. This is someone who's anywhere between 35 to like 55 years old, and you're like, this person has done this, and this, and they're worked on these movies as a producer and this, and now they're coming on this big production. Like what happened to Feige when Feige jumped over to Marvel. I don't want to know who the person is. I want to learn about them through their accomplishments. Oh, good news. Captain Penis is back.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Lucasfilm is Lionsgate with more money. Oof, brutal. But at least Lionsgate takes swings at their at bats. Yeah, and they also put out movies. Lionsgate. Lucasfilm takes every pitch and then strikes out looking. 100% Captain Penis. Thank you so much. Captain who would have thought that the best comment of the day comes from Captain Penis?
Captain Penis.
Shay Markel. I think The Rock is facing increasing rejection due to the rise of anti-establishment sentiment. Rock used to feel endearing and authentic. Now he feels like ego and big business to a lot of fans. I think that's a fair assessment.
I don't know if that's a fair assessment because look who just won the presidency. It feels like a lot of people like that. Different from where he is. Rock was always big and bold and brash. Never was that. But it was like, at what point do you switch over from being the people's champion to the corporate champion, if you will? Right. Because he still pulls audiences when it comes to wrestling. Don't make no mistakes about it. I'm very curious to see what he does. Look, I didn't mind him in that movie last night, Red One, but he's just doing the same thing he does in every movie. He's The Rock in this. Like you always say, The Rock in this. You never remember his characters. You always remember The Rock. I'm hoping that the Smashing Machine is significantly different. Okay. I know we lose Mike in 9 minutes, but we'll do what we can here. Chris Granier. Red One at best will be this generation's Jingle All the Way. It's not Jingle All the Way. I
love Jingle All the Way.
And it's got a very different tone. I will tell you that I liked whoever the Krampus was. The guy who played Krampus was pretty good. Shay Markel. Rock's movies are suffering from a lack of subtlety. Maybe. Jim, was The Rock paid more upfront to waive residuals? I don't know about that. I think that's just kind of what he demands now, but I think that's going to stop, though. I think that's going to stop. The Big Balls wasn't taken out off the rotation because of me. It was because I woke up when I came in the studio one day. My new Roadcaster was busted. I still have it on the Amazon list. Shay Markel, Steph, we're waiting on Fast 9 now. Last one was fun.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm excited watching the Fast franchise. It's funny talking about Rock now because I'm late to the game. He is one of my favorite parts of Fast. Like he is so fun to watch.
Are you watching just the Fast movies, or did you watch Hobbs and Shaw?
I watched Hobbs and Shaw. I was obsessed.
It's good. It's fun.
It's so fun.
Yeah, it's fun. You're gonna be able to, you know what I mean? Juan Martinez. Hey all, Mike. Congrats on the Purge Dangerous Waters. I watched the show multiple times, and it was a blast. How long you been doing stunt work, man? Thanks, and stay safe.
Oh, thank you, man. I got involved in stunts about 22 years ago in Florida, and I worked extensively in Florida as doing a lot of stunt work. But I just always did it just to make me a more proficient actor, to have the kind of skills that the roles that I go for to be for. So I don't do it as much, especially out here. I focus more on the acting stuff. But thank you. I appreciate you. I'm glad you love the show. It's one of the most fun shows I've had doing in a real long time. So thank you for seeing that.
All right, next one. And this is Chris Granier. Saying Star Wars is a small sandbox is like saying MCU is small. Kathleen Kennedy needs to use the books to their advantage. Stupid not to. Yeah, really stupid not to.
No, it's not a small it's a small sandbox in the sense that it's the Skywalker franchise. That's all they do. The MCU's got vastly different stuff all over the place, where Star Wars, I say that small because it's easy to go, all right, what's the rules on a lightsaber? You don't have this massive playground where, it's very small, very contained in the sense that, hey, these are the rules for lightsabers. And then everyone would have them and you wouldn't mess with it.
Right.
It's manageable. That's what I meant by the small sandbox.
Mike, comic book question for you: is Watchmen technically DC?
It is.
It is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Liam O'Toole. I don't understand how they think Star Wars TV is okay and has more freedom. 50-50 at best. The lack of awareness is a disaster. Yes, it is. You said you might as well be on this panel. And then Steph, you guys have tied Roka. One more, and you beat him.
Nice.
So, okay. Jedi Master for life. Sad to see Star Wars where it's at now, but felt the same after the Snyderverse. But after Gunn's DCU plans, there's hope again. What would need to happen to give all of the fandom some hope? New leadership. I'm just going to keep saying it over and over again. New leadership. Anybody else?
They're at the point they need to do what DC did with Gunn.
Yeah. New leadership.
Yeah.
Go Pipe. On hot takes, Mike, can you expand on Dalton being your favorite Bond? I've never heard that before. Most people usually say Connery or Craig for the kids.
Yeah, I think he was the closest to Fleming's books. I think he was dangerous. He had like an air of violence about him, everything he did. Connery, I know people love him because he's, you have to respect because he's the first. But he never felt that violent. He could switch in a second and slit your throat. Whereas Dalton just had that. There's just something about him. Right. But he's charming too. Yeah, I love Dalton.
Shay Markel. Abernathy Ras says react to Secret Level trailer. What's that? What's Secret Level?
I heard that it's like an analogy about video game movies.
Oh, okay.
It's a video game something where like every little segment is a different video game movie.
Got it.
That they're trying to do. I just read something. I didn't see anything though. Okay. But yeah.
Go Pie. If it's in there, I did pick up Mike's Bond. If it's in there, I did pick up Mike's Bond book a week ago, but I haven't had time to read it. Oh, if you talked about Dalton in there, about why he's your favorite.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do. There's
a
couple chapters in there. I think I go into it heavily. Enjoy. Thank you for that.
Jedi Master for life. Kristian, what comes first? The official announcement that aliens are real and disclosure, or official announcement that Disney will sell Star Wars to Apple? I'm not even kidding when I say this. The aliens first. Not even kidding.
Disney's not selling Star Wars.
No. And apparently the Apple deal was close, but they didn't want the theme parks. Apparently it was really close.
Oh.
Apparently it's very, very close. I'm so bummed. I hope that's what Boliger does before he leaves. He just says, you know what? Screw this. You guys handle Kathleen Kennedy. Sell it. Here it is. Scott Cross. Met Andy Serkis last weekend. It was awesome. He's definitely one of the nicest people ever. I've met Andy a few different times. I get to hang out with him a couple of times. My friend is his manager, and I was able to hang out with him a few different times, and he's just such a sweetheart of a human being. Favorite stories of him or other positive times meeting celebs? Well, because I was at my friend's place for his birthday, and Andy was there with his family, I got to hang out with him there. But then my friend again brought me over to him when he was it was the Last Jedi premiere, and I talked to him for a bit there, and his wife was just the coolest. But I saw Andy at the Grove when I was walking, and I said, and reminded him that we'd met at my friend's place, and he's like, he knew right away because we'd talked for a bit, and we just sat there talking in the Grove for I think like 15 minutes, and he's just awesome. He's just awesome. He's just a really like family guy, very creative, super talented. I love Andy. Andy's one of my favorite actors of all time.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. Any favorite positive meetings on celebs, guys? If someone you've been like, wow, that person was really either cooler than I thought, or
I liked our John Watts.
That was cool.
Encounter at Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Steph, you got one or no?
No, I thought Sylvester Stallone was nice.
Oh, yeah.
I was very brief, but he was cool.
Yeah, like you're on that show, you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh? Give that world a girl, huh?
Hey, world girl, yeah, rock Lords and Hammers. Mike, have you read the James Bond comics on Dynamite Entertainment? Any standout recommendations, if so?
I did. I've fallen off the past couple of years, but I think it's called Varger and Eidolion. Those are the two kind of storylines. Read those.
The Dart 005. Hey, Steph, I've got a flat butt for a guy. Any tips?
Well, good thing it doesn't really matter as much, But I would just say you just squat. You just gotta
That's it.
squat and get your protein in, and that's it.
Mike loves that question. That's what his favorite.
I love it.
Yeah, it's
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Hey, Steph, I got a flat ass.
Well, as
What
the
can I do?
expert, you came to the right place.
That's right. Day napper. You three are making a movie together. I'm gonna let Steph answer this one.
Okay.
Steph, what would all three of our roles be in the production? Can't be actor.
Okay.
So all three of us are making a movie. What are our roles?
I would say that Kristian would be the director. Mike would be. He can't be the actor.
First AD. First AD.
Yeah, first AD then.
Taking all your shit, dickhead.
Yeah. Well, not mine.
And then I would be the personality hire and make everyone's day better.
See, I would go the other way. I would say I would.
Yo, I know what I'm going to be.
Go ahead, Billy.
I'm going to be the intimacy coordinator.
Yeah.
Well, I would say if it was me, I would say I would take the executive producer role. I would give Steph the director role and then Mike first AD because Mike's gonna make shit go down. All right, you three we did that one. Wicked Art. What up, Wicked Art? Did you guys watch Arcane season 2 yet? I love it. No, I've been waiting to do reactions to it. I have no. Have you started, Steph? Do you love it?
Of course.
Okay.
Like this one, we were so pissed because usually Netflix releases their shows on like Wednesday.
Yeah, I love that they're not.
And then they did it Saturday, and we were just like waiting. It is one of my favorite shows of all time.
I can't wait to watch it. Kai Pedersen, can you fire Kathleen and execs in your Arnold voice? Sure. Come in here. I got to tell you something. All of you sit down. You in the pantsuit. Stand up while I tell you this. Yeah, I don't want you down anymore. And I need you to listen to me. What you're doing is not good. You're putting out $200 million there, $300 million over there. There's witches, there's twins, there's nothing. No movie in years. Yeah, it's not fantastic. No one is. You're fired. Goodbye.
It's not fantastic.
It's not fantastic. The Cali Kid. What are Mike and Steph's favorite movies this year?
Dune 2, Furiosa,
Nice.
Inside Out 2.
Yeah.
Fall Guy.
Okay, good one. No Style Dutch. If not Favreau, who should take over Lucasfilm? Got to pick. Like I said, it's an executive. We don't know their names. I want to get a really good creative person who is an executive or / producer the way that Feige was. You didn't know Kevin Feige's name before 2009 or 2008. You didn't know who he was. And they need that person. Elusive Rock. Onion CEO statement about InfoWars is a must read. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Okay, I didn't see it. Pete Parker. Mike has me dying today with the Lawnmower Man. Shay Markel. I think an Edgar Wright directed Star Wars would be great. Well, the problem with that is it's the same thing. Edgar Wright is going to make his kind of movie, and he's not going to listen to anybody. So you need somebody who's going to be able to structure together and not just be a company man, but still you play ball. Steven, does Kennedy have any dirt on the high executives at Disney or something? How has she not been fired? It is one of the great mysteries of life right now. Mike, you just take off when you got to leave, man. Ethan.
All right, I'll get going now.
All right,
I'm sorry, guys.
That's all right.
Bye.
All right.
Bye, guys. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
He's got an appointment.
It's all right. He's got gas. So me and Steph. Okay. Hey, all, been watching since I was 16. I'm 26 now. Oh, man. Thank you all for years of entertainment and the hours of bonding with my brothers over your content. That's so nice. Thank you, Ethan.
That's awesome.
What a great comment that was. Thank you, my friend. Ed Haskell. Hey, guys. Tomorrow, Cobra Kai's on Netflix. That's right. Twister's on Peacock. Alien Romulus is on Disney Plus, and Mike Tyson and Paul Friday night. Make your predictions and how many rounds. I'm going to say Tyson in 2. If it's real.
I think
if it's a real fight.
Yeah. If it's real, but I think if it's a little gassed up, then maybe Tyson in 5.
Oh well, if it goes past 3, Tyson ain't winning. I don't think.
Yeah, because he needs a knockout quickly just because of the age difference.
He's 60 years old. He's gonna. So we'll see.
What I hope is it's in the first 15 seconds.
Me too. Jack Lewis, Filoni is a hack. His animated stuff is great. When he tries to bring it to live action, not so much. The fact that he doesn't like Andor tells you everything that you need to know about him. Yeah, some people go, how do you know that? Let's just say that it's kind of known. I totally agree. I just think that he hasn't transferred over. Joey Pedras, let's get some whistleblower protections for people coming from Lucasfilm. It's 100%. Bradley Pooper's in the house. Lucasfilm Ltd acts like a drunk uncle. 100%. It's like the drunk uncle for the Keenan plays on not drunk uncle, but Willie on Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mike Joyce. Tom Cruise wants Glenn Powell to replace him on Mission Impossible. It's interesting. I could see it. Derek Johnson. Have you seen the trailer? Pamela Anderson is in The Last Showgirl. It looks amazing. Jamie Lee Curtis is also in it. I saw that it was released. I didn't see that it I haven't seen the actual trailer though, but I heard about it. You hearing
Neither have I.
Okay. Jedi Master for Life. I agree with Steph. Acolyte's characters looked like they were from a Comic-Con, not from away down the street from or not that far away from a street from a Comic-Con. It looked like costumes. Jim 1. Ziegler hoped 70 million who voted for Trump never find peace. Oh, is that what she said?
She said that.
But I just don't understand why. Like, you have a movie coming out. You're allowed to have your opinions. I understand that, but we just show you. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to if she's making a $30 million movie that she wants a certain audience to come see. Say whatever you want. Tweet whatever you want. But if I'm Disney and I'm going, don't tweet anything right now. When the movie comes out and it's done, tweet whatever you want to tweet. We're promoting a movie here, and we want these people to see the movie. You want them to see the movie, and it's like, and it sucks to say like, oh, well, she shouldn't be giving her opinion. She has a responsibility to promote the movie also, and to get people in the theater. She does, and so I think it's a mistake for her to do at this moment. Tweet whatever the fuck you want to tweet afterwards, but when the movie's out.
Yeah, I think that I can completely empathize with where she's coming from.
Yeah.
And it's like, so everybody feels emotional in some capacity about the election.
Yeah.
And I've had to tell myself, like, pause for a second and ask myself, is this helpful?
Right.
And I think that especially when you have a huge movie and a huge career, you just have to be careful about what you're saying. And also those types of things that go on in my mind too when I'm like aren't helping us.
Right.
So I don't know.
That's the thing is you're like in an echo chamber because who are you trying to reach by doing that? Like, who are you reaching? And it's like you're right. So I tell Mike and Roku all the time on Twitter, like who are you reaching when you're doing that? You're just screaming to the same people who are going to support you in the first place. I don't understand it. No style. Or is it No Style somebody? I lost it. No Style Dutch. Could Filoni be more of the problem than we think? Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Haskell 420. It is a trip how Pat McAfee shouted out and showed the Insider's post on his story on Tom Cruise wanting Glenn Powell to take over on. I didn't see. That's cool.
I saw that. It was fun.
Oh, can you link me that, Haskell? Send it to me in DM. I want to see that. Sun Tzu. Hey, everyone. KH, Mike, 30 Seconds of Arnold and Michael Caine. Oh, we just lost Mike. I'm sorry. Out of the theater reaction to Last Jedi, picking up with somehow Palpatine return. Well, Sun Tzu, why don't you save that one? We'll save that one. I'm going to screenshot this. So for next week when Mike's on, we'll pick this up. I'm going to screenshot it so that way we can do that. Put it right here, and I'll save that for next week when Mike's back. He had to leave his appointment. Shoot. Sorry about that, Sun Tzu. That was a good one. Pete Parker. I want big balls back, but I also want a PS5 Pro. I understand. Yeah,
I get that.
I get it. Look, Big Balls he's in the Amazon list. He's in the Amazon list, but that could be weeks, it could be months, it could be years. Armada. I hope you get Frank Grillo on for an interview soon. I'm actually working on it. Did I tell you this?
That'd be awesome.
Well, you know what's hilarious? I was telling my friend, we just reacted to Warrior. My friend Sam, who had never seen it, right? She loved it. And then we kept talking about Warrior again. And I said, I remember I interviewed Frank Grillo at Collider Live. I said, I wish I would have talked to him about Warrior. That was one regret that I had. And I went back and I did talk about Warrior.
On your interview.
I saw there's a clip of me talking to him about Warrior. It's like, oh, okay. Shay Markel, don't let this Star Wars news distract you from the fact that Amon is the one true king. Poor Amon. He loves Amon. You hate Amon, don't you?
Where was he from again?
House of the Dragon. Come on, girl.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I like Amon. Wait, no, I don't.
No, you don't like
sorry.
Amon.
You know, I'm not. I didn't
Amon,
watch
yeah.
season 2.
Listen, remember the time I met you and you liked it a lot. You said, hey, you want to be in that movie, Rocky? You said, hey, okay, no problem. Hey, Tulsa King. Yeah, Tulsa King.
Wait, Amon's one of the sons of the. Oh God, I hate this guy.
Yeah,
I hate
you
this
him.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mumra. Vic saw Cobb's injury. He should have jabbed the wound. Oh, yeah. I don't want to give too much into the Penguin stuff, but yes, the Penguin was great. All right, Steph, that was the last one. And unless I'm going to give it one more sign off, but you could potentially hit 90, but you stopped at 89. Winston and Coy will have to beat 89 tomorrow. So
okay.
you are once again in the lead. You have become a dominant force in this game.
Nice.
You know, I'm not going to lie to you. When we first started doing this, I always thought, well, Steph was, and she'll do all right. And you're like the champ. You're like the overwhelming champ. So once again, Steph hitting 89. Can Winston and Coy beat her tomorrow? We will see. But Steph overtakes John Roca, beating with 80. Oh, I'm just kidding. 90. You just hit 90. Captain Penis, if you're concerned about our country, go out and support your local community charities. Make your community better with positive action. Thank you, Captain Penis. Again, Captain Penis saying wonderful things today.
Totally.
Yes. Who would have thought? Captain Penis taking us out with a wonderful word. Thank you to Captain Penis. Thank you to Steph. Thank you to Mike. And thank you to Nerds Engage, who gets Steph up to 91. I'm just kidding. Hustle for Life gets you to 92. So
nice.
have someone react to Dune or The Substance. I'm going to react to Dune, the new series. I'll be doing that.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
For sure. So, all righty then. Thank you, Steph. Go watch Closer. I'm very curious to hear what you think. Oh, did you watch Battlestar, the pilot?
I am halfway through it.
And?
I am. I really like it.
I thought so. It's
yes,
right up your alley.
the pilot's a great pilot.
It's a great pilot. And
great pilot.
How creepy with the baby part, right? Did you get the baby part?
I don't know if I'm
there. Part. Okay.
There yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wait till you get that baby part. It's creepy. All right. And now we got Wicked Art. Did I get a chance to read episode 7 of Capes? Not yet. Not issue 7 of Capes. Not yet. I have it in my inbox ready to go. Don't worry. I will definitely get to it. This has been an insane. I'm managing 4 channels right now, and it's nuts.
Yeah,
all right. Speaking of which, I got to get Matt Serra in here soon. We're doing a show with him and Dean Thomas. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Well, oh my God, we keep getting more questions. 94. J-Bach, you guys going to Star Wars Celebration in Japan?
I'm trying to, honestly. And yeah, I'm trying to because my family has just been this is at the top of our list of things to do.
Japan?
And we're just waiting for the right time, but that might be the right time because of my parents' busy schedule. So hopefully that'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm not going to be going to this one, but I don't know if they do it. I would probably want to wind up doing it in Chicago again. I'd like to probably go to Chicago again. I really enjoyed my time in Chicago.
I've never spent time in Chicago, so that would be really fun for me.
Celebration was really fun there. It was really fun. All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Get Harry a cough drop.
I know.
I gotta send them some. I hope he's okay. All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thanks to Steph. Thanks to all you guys. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. That's where you can find us. Check us out. Check out the Clips channel. We got so many things. Renzi Felice from the Penguin. I had a whole bunch of clips from him up there. I'm going to be interviewing Jaleel White next week. That's going to be a fun one. So make sure you check that out. That's right. Urkel himself. We'll be having a full-on interview with him. So thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys on the flip side. Peace out. Go get those sponsors today, will you? All right. Bye-bye.